brought to you live via St. Louis, Missouri. This is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and tonight the Crucible begins, where the St. Louis Cardinals are hosting the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 1 of a 5-game set. And I don't think it takes much to realize how much is riding on the outcome of these games for the St. Louis Cardinals in 2026. The last time they faced the Brewers, they got swept out of Milwaukee, starting on Memorial Day in that first 3-game set of that early week series. It was not pretty. It was not fun, especially the third game where Dustin May lost his no-hitter in the 8th inning. I think we all pretty much had enough of that part. But the fact of the matter is the Cardinals are in a slightly different place than they were at the time. They have just come 4-2 off of this most recent road trip. They went into Atlanta. They took 2 out of 3. They went to the Northside of Chicago. They took 2 out of 3. In reality, they probably should have swept it with some better defense, but them's the breaks, folks. As we say in Yankee land, that's baseball, Susan. And tonight, the Crucible begins, because tomorrow there is a split doubleheader, which I'll be calling both games, and then they play until the conclusion on Thursday night, and then 3 more at home against the Braves before the All-Star break. And before I give the lineups, join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. So, let me give you the starting lineups. Well, first off, starting pitchers. Going for the Milwaukee Brewers is the left-handed pitcher Shane Drohan, who got yanked out of the bullpen and put into the rotation in the beginning of June just due to a bevy of injuries, and they needed to be able to fill those slots. He's done well. Not as well as he was doing in the back end of the bullpen there in the 7th and the 8th, where he had an ERA just under 2. But he's been pretty good for the change they've expected him to make. And starting tonight, and this really kind of baffled me, is none other than the right-handed pitcher for the Cardinals, Dustin May. And my only guess is that his right ankle feels fine. The x-ray came back negative. Okay. And he didn't throw that many pitches on Thursday night in the conclusion down in Atlanta at Truist. So we're going to find out together which direction that one goes. But join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. For the visiting Milwaukee Brewers, leading off at DH is Christian Yelich. Batting second in left field is Jackson Chourio. Batting third at second base is Bryce Terang. Batting cleanup behind the dish is William Contreras. Batting fifth at first base is Jake Bowers. Out in center field is Mitchell batting sixth. Batting seventh out in right field is Sal Frelick. Batting eighth at shortstop is Pratt. And at the hot corner tonight is the third baseman, David Hamilton, in the 9 spot. Now for the Cardinals, this will look awfully familiar to many of you, as it is the platoon that Ollie Marmol generally throws out there when facing a left-handed starter. Batting leadoff at second base, the NL rookie sensation and all-star snub, J.J. Weatherall. Batting second at DH is Ivan Herrera. Batting third out in right field is Jordan Walker. Batting cleanup in left field is Nelson Velasquez. Batting fifth at the hot corner is Jose Fermin. Batting sixth is the right-hand hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn. Batting seventh in center field is Nate Church. Batting eighth at first base tonight is Blaze Jordan. And in the 9-hole behind the dish is Pedro Pajes. And that is the starting 9 for both clubs here in Game 1 of this 5-game midweek set down at Busch. But join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. And I'm going to go into the chat here, because there is plenty of activity here with leadoff. Okay, Well, leading off here tonight is Delta leader. Good to see you, Delta. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope y'all had a great 4th. Let's go, Redbirds. You know it. Brother Joe. Good evening, Brother Paul. I thought you gave up. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. I have not given up. Now, my internet, that was giving up on me, but hopefully everything has been ironed out. My fingers are very tightly crossed on that one. I think it's fair to say. And, of course, Braylon Beasley with the pre-broadcast $5 super chat for Paul's Wi-Fi. If only it was a Wi-Fi issue. It was Wi-Fi, it was Ethernet, it was everything. But as I understand it, a lot of people in the area were having similar issues. Once again, I hope we're not dealing with that again tonight because it has been utterly frustrating. Ron Lyle, cheers to the Green Mountain State. Good evening, everyone, from the great Northeast. Make sure you hit the like button and say hello to Paul and the chat as you come in. Cheers to that, Ron. All right, let us see here. Yes, well, going back to Delta Leader here real quick. I'm scared, Ron. I hope May is going to use a better showing. It's going to be a better showing tonight. I'm worried about his ankle. He already had the tweak in his back. I think we are all have a healthy skepticism until he proves otherwise. Braylon, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Anyway, let's see here. Alrighty. So, let's see. David Hodge. Good to see you, David. Let's win the series, Cardinals. It's a big one. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. Happy Hodag. This is definitely a must-win for the Cardinals. You better believe it. 100%. I'm not going to pretend, everybody. And, of course, Justin Beasley. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Be sure to drop a like on your way in. If you would be so kind as to subscribe. Run away to 1,000. We're not far away either. Currently at 9:45. I still can't even believe that. Okay. Nick, hello, and how is everyone doing? I am swell, Nick. So happy that the internet seems to be working. We'll go from there. And I'll address that more in the half inning between the top and bottom of the first inning. And away we go indeed, 411 Shirley. Alrighty. Well, hey, Thurman, good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. Sam Foreman in the audience. Jock, let's win the first one. And cheers to the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. STL Tony 1, good to see ya. Real pleasure as always, Thurman. You know that. Now, stepping out onto the mound is the right-hander Dustin May. In 16 starts, he's 5-6 with a 4.80 ERA, 24 walks against 78 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.27. Tonight, the St. Louis Cardinals are wearing their standard home whites and bottoms with the birds on the bat and the red letters and numbers and the primary red ball cap with the white interlocking STL on the front of it. Dustin May, you know what he throws. He throws the fastball. He throws a sinker. He's got a cutter in there. He's got a slider in there, another sweeper as well. Interesting little note, though, when interviewed about the sweeper, he points out something that I had been waiting for somebody to point out, which is it's just a slider, just thrown slightly different. For the Milwaukee Brewers tonight, they're in their navy blue tops and gray bottoms with Milwaukee across the chest in yellow letters and numbers with the half and half cap and helmets. Yellow on the front, navy on the back with that rather actually really cool MB logo there. Now, stepping up to the plate here is Christian Yelich. Yelich is hitting .243 on the year. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Let's just make sure we have that. Everything seems to be working just fine. So stepping into the box is Christian Yelich. Stepping onto the bump is Dustin May. And stepping up to the proverbial microphone, no, not so proverbial, it's right in front of me, is Paul D. May looks in. Plajes comes set behind the dish. Comes, winds May. The first pitch to Yelich. A four-seam fastball outside, ruled a ball, and we are underway. Brewers Cardinals, game 1 of 5 between now and Thursday night. Righty-lefty matchup. Come and wind is May. The 1-0 to Yelich. Foul down the third base side. Now to play on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 1-1. Christian Yelich. He may be getting on in years, but he's still a dangerous hitter and a true professional as that. Infield defense very much shaded towards right with the lefty Yelich. Come and wind is May, the 1-1. A four-seam fastball way upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. So I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for spending part of your Monday evening with me. I hope you enjoyed your Independence Day. Come and wind is May, the 2-1 to Yelich. Swinging strike on the cutter, down and in, and the count is 2-2. So it's a 2-2 count here. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the first inning, no score. Leading off here is Christian Yelich, the DH tonight. Righty-lefty matchup. Come and wind is May. He deals. Just got a piece of that sweeper down Broadway, clocked 87 miles an hour. The count remains 2-2. Well, hey, it is really good to see you all. I'm looking forward to catching up a little bit here because we got some catching up to do. May looks in. The Dutchman winds. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Yelich for the first out of the inning. So, Dustin May, it gets Yelich to swing over the top of a cutter down and in for the first out here. And now here comes Jackson Chourio. On deck is the second baseman, Bryce Terang. Righty-righty matchup. Chourio is hitting .297 on the year. Come and winds May, the first offering to Chourio. Up and away for a ball. The count is 1-0. That was clocked 98 miles an hour. This year, Jackson Chourio in 54 games hitting .297, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs, and 885 OPS. Nobody on, one out. Top of the first inning, no score. Righty-righty matchup. Come and winds the Dutchman, the 1-0. A four-seam fastball well away and out of the zone, clocked 99 miles an hour, and the count is 2-0. Jackson Chourio has made a real living against the Cardinals in 31 games, hitting .339 with 5 home runs, 21 RBIs in his career against the Redbirds. Come and winds the Dutchman, the 2-0 pitch. Strike, sinker, inside quarter below the belt. 98 miles an hour, and the count is 2-1. Good to see you, Ethan. I'm glad. I hope you're doing well. It's a 2-1 count. Come and wind the Dutchman, the 2-1 offering. A cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. So when it comes to Dustin May, he's all about keeping it down in the zone and attacking the strike zone. And he has a lot of weapons when he does that. Infield playing back mostly straight away here against the righty Chourio. The 3-1 pitch. Hit to the right side. Fielded there by J.J. Weather on a hop. Throws to first in time to Blaze Jordan, who is at first tonight for the second out of the inning. And with that said, Alec Burleson is not in the lineup. I don't think it's due to health reasons. I think Ollie Marmol is just giving him a night off against a tough left-hander by way of Shane Drohan. So nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the first inning, no score. Now here comes Bryce Terang. Righty-lefty matchup. Terang's hitting .268 on the year. First pitch from the Dutchman. Foul tipped on the cutter down and in. The count is 0-1. We did miss y'all a little bit, Ball. Don't tell anyone I said that. Don't worry about it, Delta. Hey, good to see you, Roger. Checking in from the surface of the sun. It's an 0-1 count. Come and winds May, the pitch. Foul tip down the first base side. Now to play on the curveball down and away. And May is ahead of Terang, 0-2. The Cardinal defensive alignment, Velasquez in left, Church in center, Walker in right, Fermin at third, Wynn at short, Weatherald at second, Blaze Jordan at first, Pedro Pajes behind the dish, and Dustin May is on the mound. That is your defensive alignment tonight for the Cardinals. Coming winds May, the 0-2 pitch. Up and away, a four-seam fastball, clocked 99 miles an hour. The count is 1-2. Back into the box is the second baseman, Terang. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with two out top of the first inning. Coming winds May, the 1-2 offering. Foul down the third base side, now to play on the sweeper down and in. The count is 1-2. All righty. Back onto the bump is May. Back into the box is Bryce Terang. It's a 1-2 count. May looks into Pajes. He sets up inside time, and there is, it looks like a pitch clock violation there by the home plate umpire. So that will add a ball to the count, and the count is now 2-2 strikes. Dustin May is wearing his long black sleeves, which has kind of become a thing for him. He comes wide. The 2-2 to Terang. Hit on over to the right side. Charging in is Weatherall. Shove throw over to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. The Brewers, they go down in order. And after 1/2 inning of play, it is the Brewers nothing and the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay. Oh, wow. Are we actually pushing 50 likes before the end of the first inning? That's incredible. Yeah, so far it really does appear that May is attacking the strike zone. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the first is Weatherall, Herrera, and Jordan Walker. Alec Burleson getting the day off. And Blaze Jordan is actually in for him defensively at first base tonight. But a good start. 56 likes, 128 people watching. Hit that like so we can keep Paul D pitching this game. Thank you so much, Nick. So, this past week, when it comes to the internet, has been something awful. Good to see you, Eric, boys. How you doing? Please, call me Paul D. We're all friends here. And it really didn't start clearing up until, like, this morning when I noticed things were actually back on track. And the thing you got to understand, and the thing that's really just so incredibly frustrating about it is, this may sound like an obvious statement, but it affects more things than you might realize, is when the internet is inconsistent, where it's dropping out and coming back. And this is an Ethernet hardwire connection, which is kind of the proper standard. Now, getting ready to step into the box is J.J. Weatherholt. But when it's not working consistently and properly, absolutely everything suffers. And it makes it just impossible to do the game. So I apologize. It's certainly not the way I wanted to go about it, to say the least. But it is what we had to deal with. The left-hander Shane Drohan for the Brewers, 3-2 with a 3.12 ERA, 18 walks again, 59 strikeouts, a 1.23 whip. Transition from the bullpen to the rotation in the beginning of June. The first pitch to Weatherholt. Strike, sinker, outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. He was doing a very fine job in a setup role for the Brewers, but injuries have necessitated his turn to the rotation. Here's the pitch. A slider away, called a ball, and the count is 1-1. And that's the story there. Drohan gives the 1-1, swinging strike on the sinker, down and in. Swinging over the top of that one is Weatherall, and the count is 1-2. Paul, you probably don't life before the internet can live without it. No, I lived before that. The 1-2. Called strike three on the sinker, down and away. Down in the observatory goes J.J. Weatherall for the first out of the inning on the outer third at the knees. No, I didn't. internet was not a commonly available thing for me until I was about 11 years old, so I can clearly remember the time before the internet. Now, here's Ivan Herrera. He's at DH tonight. 256, 10 home runs, 39 RBIs in 87 games, a 793 OPS. Lefty-righty matchup. The thing is that internet here without this, it's just not happening. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball fouled straight back. The count is 0-1. I can go without internet for days, believe me. But this ain't about me. This is about being able to do this gig. Kamenwans Drohan, the 0-1. Fouled over the Cardinal, towards the Cardinal on deck circle, and making the catch there is his first baseman Bowers for the second out of the inning. So a couple of quick outs here out of the left hand of Shane Drohan. He gets Weatherholt down looking and gets Ivan Herrera to foul out there in front of the Cardinal dugout. Now here's Jordan Walker with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 292, 20 home runs on the year. The Cardinals' sole selection to the All-Star game. He is a reserve, lefty-righty matchup. Kamenwans Drohan, the first pitch to Walker. A sinker in, and it gets by Contreras there, goes all the way to the backstop. The count is 1-0. 1996 when I first saw internet. Yeah, that's about the same for me, too. Back into the box is Jordan Walker. Cummins sets Drohan. He winds the 1-0. A curveball down and in and well out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Cummins sets Drohan. He winds the 2-0 pitch. A sinker downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and no strikes to Jordan Walker. Will he go into statue mode here at 3-0? Let's find out together. Kamenwans Drohan, the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, so 4 straight to Jordan Walker, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Now here comes Nelson Velasquez. He's out in left field tonight in the left-handed hitting platoon that Marmol puts out there against left-handed pitchers. Velasquez hitting .273, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs in part-time duty, 19 games, and 888 OPS. Leading off first is Walker. The first pitch from Drohan, hit to the left side, fielded there at the third base position, throws over to first in time to get Velasquez for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk. 1 left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is no score here in Game 1 of 5. This very expansive, whopping 5-game series here against Milwaukee down at Busch this week. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Alrighty. So that's the story there. Anyway, I hope you all are doing fabulously well tonight. Marvelously well at that. Hi, Paul and everybody. Hey, Jimmy. How's it going? Glad to see you. Looking forward to Cowboy training camp, I imagine. Woodworking outdoorsman. Good to see you. Glad to be here. Co-Brewers. Hey, Brewers fans are welcome here, too. All the regulars know this. But so far, it's been a pretty clean top and bottom. I would have to discuss that with you further. This is not the appropriate setting to discuss that, Ethan. Okay? If you're interested, send me an email. There's a contact email for this channel. Otherwise, that's not something I would ever discuss on stream. So, if that is something you are interested, send me an email. We can discuss it further, but we'll go from there. Okay. Trisk. Hey, Paul D. 2 away from 950. Apparently so. Apparently so. I'm glad to hear that, though. Do I remember before the microwave? Does anybody here remember before the microwave? I guess is the question we're all asking. It's become such a common household appliance. All right, we are back here for the top of the second inning. Due up is Contreras, Bowers, and then Mitchell. 4, 5, 6 in the Brewer order. Out for his second frame is Dustin May. Righty-righty matchup here against the righty hitting catcher Contreras. Here's the first pitch. Strike, sinker, inside corner, about thigh high, and the count is 0-1. William Contreras hitting .295, 9 home runs, 51 RBIs in 83 games, a .774 OPS. Righty-righty matchup. It's an 0-1 count. Come and wind is May, the 0-1 offering. Hit on down to third base, picked up there by Fermin on a hop. Throws to first in time for the first out of the top of the second inning. Pre-air fryer days were rough. You know, I only recently got an air fryer. I lived without it for a lot of years, but the wife insists. Oh, interesting. I didn't know they were brothers. Weird. Now, here's a lefty first baseman, Bowers, hitting .266. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A sweeper down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. They do look awfully alike now that you think about it. Jake Bowers, .266, 16 home runs, 54 RBIs in 79 games, and .861 OPS. Nobody on with one out, top of the second inning. Common Wine, the 1-0 pitch. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picking it up out there is Jordan Walker. So Bowers has a one-out single to right for the Brewers here in the top of the second inning. Here comes the second baseman, Mitchell. On deck is Sal Frelick. A good, clean single there to the right of J.J. Weatherall. Had no chance at it. So Bowers leads off first. Now here's the lefty Mitchell. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first with one out here in the top of the second inning. From the stretch is May, the first pitch. A cutter just missed the outside corner and the inside corner. The count is 1-0. Garrett Mitchell hitting .264, 8 home runs, 42 RBIs in 78 games, and .817 OPS. Bowers leads off first with one out. From the stretch is May. He deals. Up and away, a four-seam fastball out of the zone, clocked 97 miles an hour out of the right hand of May, and the count is 2-0. So I think we're all reasonably curious here in terms of the condition of Dustin May. Infield defense clearly shaded towards right with the lefty Garrett Mitchell at the plate. Coming set, the 2-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball away, and the count is 2-1 strike. I will read that out in just a moment. Runner leads off first. At the stretch is May. In the box is Mitchell. May deals. Foul down the third base side and out of play, and the count is 2-2. Queen VI in terms of 6. Roman numerals, 1993. Hi, love that you are doing this. Just brought my first home, so it's hard to pay for subscriptions right now. You're my connection to my Redbirds. Hey. I'm glad I can be that, and I'm glad you enjoy it so much. Coming sets May. The 2-2 to Mitchell. Hit on up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Booting it out there in center is Nate Church. He throws it wide up third. Going all the way to third on the play is Bowers. Moving up to second is Garrett Mitchell. And now the Brewers have runners on second and third with one out here in the top of the second inning. So that miscue there by Nate Church bobbling it in center field allowed both runners to advance an additional 90 feet. They have runners on second and third with one out. Not one of Nate Church's better defensive showings, to say the least. Now here's a lefty, Sal Frelick. He's hitting .242. Righty-lefty matchup. Runners lead off second and third. From the stretch is May. First pitch of Frelick. A curveball, foul tipped on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. That's one thing you can't do for the Brewers, is when you make mistakes, they capitalize on them, always, and they don't make many themselves. Runners lead off second and third. It's an 0-1 count with one out here in the top of the second. From the stretch is May. He holds the 0-1. Foul down the third base side and out of play. It appears it goes into the stands, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. So that's the story there. Sal Frelick hitting .239, no home runs, 25 RBIs with runners in scoring position this year. Back onto the bump is May. He is from the stretch. It's an 0-2 count to Sal Frelick. He comes set. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. All right. Runners lead off second and third with one out. It's a 1-2 count. From the stretch is May. The pitch. Called strike 3 on the sinker on the inside corner, down in the observatory, but challenged immediately there by Sal Frelick. So we're standing by on an ABS challenge, our first of the night. Strike 3 looking. Down goes Frelick in the observatory for the second out of the inning. So the Brewers lose one of their 2 allotted ABS challenges in regulation. The Cardinals still have both of theirs. However, runners are still on second and third with 2 out. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Pratt. Cooper Pratt, the shortstop, in 17 games, hitting .200 even, no home runs, 2 RBIs, a .537. He's in the 8-hole tonight. Righty-righty matchup. Coming set from the stretch is May. He deals. Strike cutter outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. That was the 30th pitch for May here in his outing tonight. Infield defense shaded towards left with the righty Pratt at the plate. Runners lead off second and third with 2 out. It's an 0-1 count. Coming set, the 0-1 pitch. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Back into the box is Pratt, and back onto the bump is May. Runners lead off second and third. Coming set at the belt is May. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the sinker, down and in, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So May is 1 strike away here from potentially getting out of this jam. One that was certainly exacerbated by the bobbling and poor throw of Nate Church. Pratt gets back into the box. On deck is David Hamilton. Righty-righty matchup. From the stretch is May. The 1-2 offering. Hit to the right side. Picked up there on a line by J.J. Weatherholt for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, 2 hits, no walks, 2 left on. After 1.5 innings of play, we have no score here in Game 1 of this whopping 5-game midweek series. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call to Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, and you haven't done so already, please leave a like. I very much appreciate it. It helps the growing channel out a lot. It helps it get out to more Cardinals fans on YouTube who are having so much trouble basically trying to watch the Cardinals and follow them every day. It does a lot of good. And if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. We have a great growing community here on Game Mike. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. So due up for the Cardinals is Jose Fermin, Mason Wynn, and Nate Church. Let's go to the chat. Chuck Gaming, good job, May. Yeah. It was a good job. All right. Let's see. May came to win tonight. Well, I surely hope so, Jock, and I hope you're doing well. Sam Foreman, nice by May to pick up Church after his mistake. Yeah, definitely. Roger that, Ethan. Anthony, great to hear the game. Go Cards. I hope you're doing well, Anthony. Andy Heitman. When May is on, he's on. And let's hope he sticks with it. You know, hopefully it sticks tonight. Alrighty, let's see here. Nice save, and thanks for the small heart attack, Meg. I think you spoke for a lot of people in the audience tonight. No doubt, Delta. Well, I hope you do remain one, Queen VI. I don't know if that is meant to be Roman numerals or not. Now, here is Jose Fermin, lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Drohan. A four-seam fastball inside, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Jose Fermin hitting .265 on the year. Part of this right-hand hitting platoon. Here's the pitch. Hit to the left side and past the diving third baseman into the corner in left field for a base hit. Going into second, standing up is Jose Fermin with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the second inning. So, Jose Fermin getting the party started with a leadoff double down the left field line. And let's put it this way. Anytime you get a ball past David Hamilton is rather impressive. Last time the Cardinals played the Brewers back at the end of May, he was putting on a total clinic. Now, here's Mason Wynn, lefty-righty matchup. He's hitting .250 on the year. Runner leads off second with nobody out. Drohan from the stretch, the first pitch. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Back into the box is Wynn. From the stretch is Drohan. Runner leads the 1-0. Strike, sinker, outer third at the knees, and the count is 1-1. They're doing a in-dugout mid-game interview with the pitching coach, Dusty Blake. Okay. Coming set is Drohan. Runner leads the 1-1. A changeup up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Okay. All right. Can't spell Fermin without fire. Man, I love that. I'm going to remember that. The 2-1 pitch. Pops straight up in the infield. Charging in is Bowers from first next to the pitcher's mound. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So, Mason Wynn pops out for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. And here comes the lefty, Nate Church. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. Had a fine offensive series against the Cubs. And for that matter, against the Braves. Hitting .255 with 8 home runs, 28 RBIs in 69 games, a .717 OPS. Fermin leads off second with 1 out. Drohan from the stretch. The first pitch to Church. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third above the knees. The count is 0-1. And, of course, it wouldn't be a game without Marmol on the top step there, completely expressionless. From the stretch is Drohan. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on up there in front of the pitcher's mound. To his left is Drohan. He picks it up, throws to first in. Time to get Church going down the line for the second out of the inning. Jose Fermin moves up 90 feet. He is at third with 2 out. And now here comes tonight's first baseman, Blaze Jordan. And as you may recall, in the minor leagues, he spent some time at first base. Alec Burleson clearly getting the night off here. Lefty-righty matchup. Runner leads off third with 2 outs. The first pitch from Drohan. A four-seam fastball just off the inside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Blaze Jordan, 18 games, hitting .246 with a home run, 13 RBIs, a .642 OPS. From the stretch is Drohan. He deals. Hit foul directly behind home plate on the four-seam fastball in, largely on the trademark, and the count is 1-1. Infield defense very much shaded towards left with the righty Blaze Jordan and the runner at third. It's a 1-1 count. From the stretch is Drohan. He deals. hit down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball away, and the count is now 1-2 strikes. 22 pitches so far for Shane Drohan. He has acquitted himself extremely well from moving from the bullpen to the rotation. Fermin leads off third. From the stretch is Drohan. The pitch. Hit to the left side, fielded there by Pratt at short. He throws to first in time to get Blaze Jordan going down the line for the final out of the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. After 2 full innings of play, there is no score here in Game 1 of this whopping 5-game series. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay. Let's see. Josh Bradley, listening to Paul and watching the World Cup. Cheers to that. So the VI is a nickname. My name is Violet, like the Willy Wonka character. Well, I imagine you're a much better human being than that Violet was. All of those kids minus Charlie were just on their way to becoming terrible, terrible adults. And somehow they survived the encounter. Don't ask me how. Violet was the one that needed to be juiced. Is that correct? As I recall? Because she started getting in, I guess, on, was it the Everlasting Gobstopper? I don't quite remember. I don't recognize the one that was made in 2005. As far as I'm concerned, I recognize that it exists, but it ends at that. But that's a good way of thinking about it. Thank you. Thank you, Violet. Okay. Fermin patrolling third base with Blaze at first. Yes, indeed, Reese. That is the setup tonight. Alec Burleson getting the night off. Yeah, Gene Wilder forever. Special guy. One of the funniest human beings just as a comedic actor. And a lot of dramatic range as well. I mean, all the work that he did over all those years. And he was never the same after Gilda Radner died, But, an excellent talent. He is missed exceptionally. All right, we're back here for the top of the third inning. Due up is Hamilton, followed by Yelich and Chiriot. 9-1-2 in the Brewer order. Righty-lefty matchup with the lefty Hamilton. Here's the first pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back. The four-seam fastball is called a ball off the outside corner. The count is 1-0. David Hamilton hitting .234 with 3 home runs, 13 RBIs in 73 games. Fermin is playing way in at third, and moving up on the grass at first is Blaze Jordan. Here's the pitch. A cutter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. But defensively, we saw this, coming out of that Memorial Day series. They had him at short, of course, during the first 2 games of that series. He was really quite incredible. Coming wind is May, the 2-0. A cutter down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. So May is in the hole here to David Hamilton, 3-0. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of third inning, no score. Coming wind is May, the 3-0 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, taken all the way is Hamilton. The count is 3-1. 37 pitches so far for Dustin May tonight. Back onto the bump. He comes wide. The 3-1 offering. Foul tipped on the cutter in. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the count is full. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of third inning, no score. From the full wind is May. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down Hamilton goes hacking for the first out of the inning. So May comes back after being down 3-0 to get Hamilton hacking for the first out here in the top of the third inning. Now back to the top of the order with Christian Yelich. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with one out, top of the third inning. Come and wind is May. The first pitch to Yelich. Hit to the first base side. Field there on a hop there by Blaze Jordan. Takes it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning. So Christian Yelich bounces out to first. And now here comes Jackson Chourio. He is 0 for 1. That was the 40th pitch for May, officially here in the top of the third inning. I only acknowledge the 71 Wonka for sure. Depp is a great actor, love him, but Gene is Willy Wonka. Yeah, absolutely. May looks a little bit like Gene Wilder. Now the first pitch to Chourio. Hit down the first base side, given chase in foul territory as Blaze Jordan near the tarp. He comes under it. He makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. The Brewers go down in order. We head to the bottom of the third inning. No score here in game 1 of 5. I'm Paul D. And if you haven't done so already and you are enjoying my call of the Redbird action here on Game Mike, please do leave a like. It really helps the growing channel out a ton, and I appreciate it. And it's helping get it out to more Cardinals fans that are having trouble following the Cardinals every day with the bizarro broadcast situation. From what I understand, I think some Brewers fans are in a similar position themselves, but I don't know that I can say that it's one for one because I don't know all the details on the Brewers side. Whatever the case may be, leave a like if you're enjoying yourself. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. With that said, I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Gene Wilder's bewildered look and comments are priceless. Never be another. You know, the interesting thing about that movie, and I can't believe we're actually talking about the original Willy Wonka here, is that movie was such a dark horse. Because they did it on a budget, I think, of $2 million. And the guy that got to direct it had only directed documentaries. So all of the strange portions of it, like where you have other, like, standalone scenes and, like, the news broadcasts and just the incredibly tight, dry, you know, just razor-sharp comedy and writing, just, it all came together perfectly. All right, we're here back for the bottom of the third inning. Due up for the Cardinals is Pie-Hayes, Weatherholt, and Herrera. 9, 1, and 2 in the Cardinal order. Pedro Pie-Hayes hitting a whopping .216, but that's a good deal better than Jimmy Crooks at the moment. And a fairly good crowd at Busch tonight. Here in this early July matchup, everyone's out of school. Stepping into the box is Pedro Pie-Hayes. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. Shane Drohan out for his third frame. He winds the first pitch to Pie-Hayes. Strike cutter right down Broadway at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Drohan comes wind, the 0-1. Changeup down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Isn't it tied with the Wizard of Oz? Interesting. That's an interesting comparison. The 1-1 pitch. Hit on up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Playing it on a hop out there is the center fielder, so Pedro Pie-Hayes gets the party started here in the bottom of the third inning with a leadoff single to center. Now here comes J.J. Weatherall. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Pedro Pie-Hayes, you know, showing that he has some command of the wood there. Mitchell playing it on a hop. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first. Here's the pitch. A sinker well inside and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. From the stretch is Drohan, the 1-0. Fouled straight back on the cutter away. The count is 1-1. So apparently they want to trade Pedro Pie-Hayes to the Reds at the trade deadline. I'd be curious to see what they get back in return for an in-division trade. Lefty-lefty matchup, the 1-1 Weatherholt. Foul tipped and down the first base side on the sinker down and in, and the count is 1-2. Keep going to left field, JJ. Yeah, he has a lot of ability to serve it the other way. Pages leads off first. It's a 1-2 count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2. A J.J. Tater would be awesome. It definitely would be. He's hitting 268 on the year. From the stretch is Drohan, the 2-2 offering. Foul tipped on the slider, down and away. Just getting a piece of that thing as Weatherholt rolls over to the Cardinal on deck circle. And the count is 2-2. That was the 31st pitch tonight for Shane Drohan. Infield defense clearly shaded to the right side with the lefty Weatherholt. Pages leads off first with nobody out. From the stretch is Drohan. The 2-2 offering. A slider down and in and out of the zone, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So, Weatherholt battling back in this at-bat. Ivan Herrera's on deck. He's 0 for 1. Coming sets Drohan. He deals. Hit on out there to second base. Trang puts it over towards second, but he can't hold on to the ball, and everybody's safe. At first, he had gotten it into his glove, and on the transfer, he bobbled it, so everybody's safe on the play. I don't know how they'll score it. I don't know that I would call it an error because it was an exceedingly difficult play in many respects. But he got it cleanly into the glove. He just couldn't get the ball from the glove to the hand, and it went right to the ground, and now runners are on first and second with nobody out. Now here's Ivan Herrera, lefty-righty matchup. First pitch to Herrera. A sinker well out and away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-0. Ivan Herrera 0 for 1 with the foul out, hitting .255 with 10 home runs. Runners lead off first and second with nobody out. No score here in the bottom of the third inning. From the stretch is Drohan. The 1-0 offering. Strike, slider, outer third thigh high, and the count is 1-1. Back into the box is Herrera. Back onto the bump is Drohan. He comes set at the stretch. The 1-1 offering. Popped it straight up in the infield on the left side. Charging in is Hamilton into foul territory. He slides. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Herrera is now 0 for 2 with a pair of foul outs. And that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Hamilton came in. He misjudged it originally. It looks like the wind might have blown it a bit, but he caught up with it. Made a nice sliding catch there, not far from home plate. And that's the first out. Now here's Jordan Walker. He walked in his first plate appearance. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Lefty-righty matchup. Coming sets Drohan. The first pitch to Walker. Strike, sinker, outside corner thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Runners lead off first and second with 1 out. From the stretch is Drohan. He holds. Here's the 0-1. A cutter low and in. The count is 1-1. Yeah, a couple of bad breaks there for Herrera, fouling out twice in a row. And with a runner in scoring position, no less. It's a 1-1 count. Coming sets Drohan. The pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. What did you miss, Max? Not much. Not much. Runners lead. It's a 2-1 count. Coming set from the stretch is Drohan. The 2-1 pitch. Hit on out there to right field. Giving chase is the right fielder towards the line, and it falls in for a foul ball and a long and loud second strike. When was the last time you seen him out of the lineup? The Sunday before last. They got the day off before the road trip, and then he backed it up with the day off on the Monday. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. That last pitch was Shane Drohan's 40th of the night. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. There is no score. Lefty-righty matchup. Drohan comes set below the letters. The 2-2 pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker is the sole selection from the Cardinals in this year's NL All-Star team. Coming set is Drohan. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the slider, down and in, and the bases are now loaded with 1 out. So, second plate appearance, second walk for Jordan Walker. And here comes the righty, Nelson Velasquez, who's out in left field tonight against the lefty Drohan, which means that Lars Nootbaar tonight is also getting the night off, at least initially. All righty. Now the pond is full of ducks, Thurman. Lefty-righty matchup. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Paes at 3rd, Weatherhull at 2nd, Jordan Walker is at 1st. And it looks like there is a brief delay between, a brief conversation between William Contreras and Shane Drohan. An appropriate occasion, no doubt. So we await play to resume. Thank you all so much for spending part of your Monday evening with me here on Game Mike for this first of 5. Tomorrow we have the split doubleheader, and I'm doing both heads of that. That'll be fun. Runners lead. Into the box is the righty Velasquez. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Lefty-righty matchup. From below the letters is Drohan. The first pitch of Velasquez. Swinging strike on the curveball, down and away, and the count is 0-1. Velasquez just swung right over the top of that Uncle Charlie from Drohan for the first strike. Back into the box is Velasquez. One thing he does well, if anything, is that he will punish mistakes in the strike zone. Coming sets Drohan, the 0-1 pitch. Hit to the left side, fielded there by Hamilton, throws to second, 1, on to first, not in time. The run scores, and that will make it a 1-0 Cardinal lead on the fielder's, well, it's not a fielder's choice there. He made it to first, so an RBI on the force out at second, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead. Yeah, in that case, it was fielded on a big hop there by Hamilton. He threw to second very well, transferred very quickly. Terang could not turn it fast enough for the relay, and so now runners on first and third with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Now here's Jose Fermin, his first at-bat. He led off the second with a stand-up double down the left field line. Runners on first and third with 2 out. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch of Fermin. Strike, 4-seam fastball, inner third below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Hitting .270 with 3 home runs, 16 RBIs in 53 games. He's played 7 different positions this year for the Cardinals. Lefty-righty matchup. Coming set from the stretch is Drohan. The 0-1. Strike, 4-seam fastball, challenged immediately by Fermin. It was on the inside corner. It will be a close one. So we have an ABS challenge incoming here, as far as I can tell. He went right to the helmet. Let's see. And it's a confirmed strike, and the count is 0-2. So the Cardinals lose one of their 2 allotted ABS challenges in regulation. Both teams have 1 remaining. Runners off first and third with 2 out. 1 already in for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Back into the box is Jose Fermin. Runners lead off first and third. From the stretch is Drohan. He's had 0-2. Here's the pitch. Hit down the left field line and slicing foul into the stands. The count remains 0-2. My compatriot Velasquez made me proud. Hey. There's nothing not to be proud about. Good professional execution. Coming sets Drohan. The 0-2 offering. A slider down and in and out of the zone. 87 miles an hour out of the left-hander Drohan. The count is 1-2. Next pitch will be Drohan's 49th on the evening. This season with runners in scoring position and 2 out, 5 for 21, I believe, for Fermin. Runners lead off first and third. It's a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch. Hit foul down the third base line and out of play on the sinker in. The count remains 1-2. 98 likes, 308 people watching. Hit that like button, everybody. Nick, part of the Vanguard here on Game Mike, one of our first citizens. Ah. Yes, just listen to Justin on that one, Max. Coming sets, Drohan. He holds. Throws over to first. Back in time is Velasquez, taking less than a 0 lead. The count remains 1-2. Well, thank you so much, Jazz Wolf. Now, here's the 1-2. Hit down the third base side and out of play on the curveball. The count remains 1-2. Now, is that Jazz Wolf or a Yaz Wolf? In which case, that would be very Germanic. Wow, 100 likes for the 29th game in a row. Thank you, everybody. Coming set below the letters is Drohan. The 1-2. Hit on out there into center field and in for a base hit. Scoring from third is the runner. Coming home all the way from second, it looks like. And that will give the runner is held at third, but that will give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead on the 2-out RBI single by Jose Fermin. And the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead. Velasquez moved from first to third on the play. They moved the camera away as soon as Warner there at third was about to give him the stop or the go sign. So 2 already in. Now here's Mason Wynn. He's 0 for 1. Lefty-righty matchup. Runners on first and third with 2 out. 2 already in. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball on the outer third above the knees, and the count is 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the 0-1. Strike. Four-seam fastball inner third above the knees, and the count is 0-2. Hey, Bally, go Cards. Good to see you, JoJo. Runners lead off first and third. Infield defense clearly shaded towards left with the righty win. It's an 0-2 count. From the stretch is Drohan. The 0-2. Hit on out there down the right field line. Given chase is the right fielder, and it goes about, I would say, a row or two deep into the stands. The count remains 0-2. Scott Reed, Biloxi, woo-hoo, go Cardinals. I like the wordplay there on the go. So 2 already in for the Cardinals. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the third inning here in game 1 of 5. Lefty-righty matchup. It's an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball in. The count is 0-2. Back into the box is Mason Wynn. He's into the hole 0-2 to Shane Drohan here, who's 1 strike away from potentially getting out of this thing. From below the letters is Drohan. The pitch. Hit foul down the third base line and out of play on the curveball away. Just got a piece of that. And the count is 0-2. Sam, we don't speak of that. Yeah, that wasn't fun. Back into the box is Wynn. From the stretch is Drohan. He holds the 0-2. Hit foul behind home plate and out of play in on the trademark of Wynn. The count is 0-2. 109 likes, 332 people watching. Let's hit 150 tonight. Everyone hit that like. Thank you so much, Nick. Drohan comes set. He throws over to first. Caught up between first and second is Fermin. They're chasing him down in a pickle. And now they're looking back at third, going back towards third. And Velasquez is cut down at third. However, it looks like there's going to be a review on the play. So Drohan had Fermin caught up between first and second. In that pickle there, Velasquez decided that he would go a little too far. Turang then threw to third with Hamilton covering. Put down the tag. However, there is going to be a replay here, and Velasquez is undoubtedly going to be ruled safe on the play. Just looking here on the replay, he was ruled out initially, but here on the replay, you can see he's clearly safe. His hand was back in on the bag. So a weird defensive play there, and frankly, some weird base running from Fermin. What are you doing getting caught up between first and second with two out? The play's under official review, so they're going to the off-site replay center. You know, basically looks like NASA Mission Control, but better funded. You know the place. So we await the off-site ruling, but based on what I've seen here on the instant replay, it looks like Velasquez got back to third safely before Hamilton was able to apply the tag. So we stand by. How many pitches has he thrown? Good question. And he is ruled safe. The call is overturned. So runners on, once again, still on first and third with two out. It's an 0-2 count. The play was overruled by official review. Drohan has thrown 57 pitches. Runners lead off first and third. Back into the box is Mason Wynn. Coming set is Drohan from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike three on the slider, down and in. Drop there by Contreras, but tags Mason Wynn for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Cardinals, they do push two across. And after 3 full innings of play, it is 2-0 Cardinals going to the top of the fourth inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Well, I appreciate the sentiment, Andy. Thank you. Okay. So, that was an interesting inning for the Cardinals. Something that always dismays me, though, is I find what happens there to Fermin happens just a little too often for my taste. There are definitely, the Cardinals tend to be a bit more aggressive on the base pass just because they're trying to make things happen. But there's no reason you should be caught up in a pickle between first and second with two outs there. Runners on first and third. It's not a good look. There are definitely times when they run themselves out of innings and you're just like, man, what just happened here? But that's the story there. I wish they had official reviews when I was in Little League. Yeah, tell me about it. But due up for the Brewers in the top of the fourth inning. Whenever they want to get back around to it, I will give you that. I believe it is going to be Turang, Contreras, and Bowers. And that's the story there. So I hope everybody's having an excellent Monday night here. Cardinal fans and Brewers fans alike, it's always a pleasure spending an evening with you all. Tomorrow is a split doubleheader. Game 1, first pitch, is scheduled for 1:15 p.m. Central Time. Game 2 is scheduled for 6:45 p.m. Central Time. I'm calling both games. Yep. Now, here is the lefty, Bryce Turang. He's 0 for 1. Here's the first pitch from May. Strike cutter on the outer third below the belt, and the count is 0-1. So through 3 innings of work, he's given up 2 hits. Righty-lefty matchup. May looks in. He comes wide. The 0-1 to Turang. Strike, four-seam fastball inside corner thigh high, and the count is 0-2. It's an 0-2 count. May looks into Pages. He winds the 0-2 offering. Foul down the third base side, and out of play on the sweeper away. The count remains 0-2. But one thing is for sure is that when it comes to the Brewers, they don't make mistakes, and they do a great job capitalizing. Bryce Strang's hitting 267, 12 home runs on the year. It's an 0-2 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Winding is May, the 0-2 pitch. A sweeper down and in, laying off it is Terang. The count is 1-2. You want to see the replay of skipping first and going straight to second? May looks in. He comes wide. The 1-2. A cutter just a bit too inside below the belt. Let's rule the ball, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a 2-2 count. May looks in to Pages. He comes wide. He deals. Fouled back on the sinker, down and in, and the count remains 2-2. No, there's really no easy outs here in the Brewer order. Absolutely a very thorough lineup. They're always pressing you. There's always pressure. May looks into Pages. He winds the 2-2. A cutter down and in and well out of the zone, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 Cardinals. They got their 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. Infield defense playing back and shaded towards right. Outfield defense very much shaded towards the left side with the lefty Terang. Coming wind is May, the 3-2 pitch. Hit on out to left field. Going back a couple of steps is Velasquez. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Bryce Terang flies out to left for the first out. And now here's William Contreras. Harold Houseman. I like your call, sir. Finally remembered to sub. Question, what do you think the reason is that the Cardinals don't pursue signing Bauer? It's an interesting question. Well, if we're talking about the Bauer on the Brewers, now here's the first pitch to Contreras. A cutter strike outside quarter thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Well, the answer to that would be they already have a very good first baseman by the name of Alec Burleson. I would say it's probably the case. Now here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul tipped on the sweeper away. Got Pages, looks like on the inside of the thigh. And you could definitely tell that one stings just on his facial expression alone, and the count is 0-2. Let's see here. Did he actually get a piece of that thing? Oh, yeah, he got it at the very end of the bat. It was like right on top of the knee protector on the front of the lower leg guards of Pages there. So it hit him on a partially protected area. Righty-righty matchup. It's an 0-2 count. Nobody on with 1 out. It's an 0-2 count. May looks in. In the box is Contreras. And the 0-2 from May. Hit foul behind the plate on the sinker in. The count remains 0-2. Back into the box is Contreras. That was the 52nd pitch for May so far. May looks in from the full line. He's ahead 0-2. And here's the pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the half swing there by Contreras for the second out of the inning. He just kind of flailed on it, almost like on a little more than a check swing, to be fair. But he couldn't hold up. He wanted to. They didn't even need to appeal. That's the second out. So Contreras goes down swinging. Now here's Bowers, the first baseman, righty-lefty matchup. Coming wind is May, the first pitch to Bowers. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Q-Man, Dixon, Missouri, has entered the chat. Good evening, Paul and Chet. Good to see you, Q-Man. Fellow Italian. And here's the 1-0 to Bowers. A change-up, strike, outer third at the knees, and the count is 1-1. May looks in. He comes wide. He deals. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball, up and in, and the count is 1-2. So May is ahead of Bowers here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 56 pitches so far. Jake Bowers 1 for 1 with a single. Nobody on with 2 out. 2-0 Cardinals, top of the 4th inning. Coming wide is May. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in, jackknifing out of the way. There is Bowers, and the count is 2-2. Oh, you mean Trevor Bauer? Oh, goodness, that is a loaded question. I forget about him sometimes, but he's out there. I'll answer that in a moment. Nobody on with 2 out. It's a 2-2 count. Coming wide is Dustin May. He deals. Called strike 3 on the sweeper on the outside corner. Down looking is Bowers for the 3rd and final out of the inning. Bowers gets the backwards K, Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic, and that will do it. The Brewers, they go down in order. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 Redbirds here in Game 1 of 5. I'm Paul D., and if you're enjoying my Call a Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, well, first off, thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure having you. Always love to have new friends aboard, and if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying my Call a Redbird action, please leave a like. It's very much appreciated and is really helping this growing channel continue to grow. And if you haven't done so already, like what you see, hit subscribe. We have a wonderful growing community of not just Cardinal fans, but baseball fans. It's actually pretty amazing to see. With that said, I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay, so we're talking about Trevor Bowers, and let's just say that is a loaded question. So I think there's a few things that are going on there. Can Trevor Bauer still pitch? I think objectively you can say, yeah, he probably can. Even at 35, I follow his stuff on YouTube. I get it. There's a lot going on there. First off, he's kind of a wild card because he has a big mouth. I mean, let's face it, the guy has a big mouth. In terms of the accusations that were made against him, as far as I know, everything was dropped. Don't take me to court on that, but that's my understanding of the situation. And he was never convicted of anything, and that's something that can't be forgotten. I think it really just kind of comes down to the idea, as much as we fans would say, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you want to have, a quality right-handed pitcher at 35 years old that can help out your team? I just don't think they want to take on his baggage is the honest answer. Now here's Nate Church, lefty-lefty matchup. He shows bunt, and he fouls it back into foul territory, but out of the reach of Contreras behind home plate. The count is 0-1. That's basically what I think it is with Bowers. It's a PR thing. They know he's kind of a handful, and they're just like, not worth it. That's my assessment. I'm not saying it's right, but I guarantee you that's probably the case. From the full one, the 0-1 from Drohan. Swinging strike on the slider, down and away, and the count is 0-2. It ain't fair. It ain't cool. But I think that's basically what it is. They consider him a distraction, more or less. Drohan looks in. He winds the 0-2 to Church. Hit down to left field, giving chase and going into the stands. Down the left field line, the count is 0-2. He's an interesting guy. I'll give you that. He's very smart, and if you learn about his rise, he wasn't like an obvious talent, but he really leveraged every bit of it he has. Coming winds Drohan, the 0-2, hit on up the middle and through and into center field for a base hit. Garrett Mitchell picks it up out there in center. So Nate Church leads things off here against Drohan with a single in the bottom of the 4th inning. Paul, do you think the Cardinals will sign Baez anytime? I mean, call him up. I think that really depends on what happens at the trade deadline. If they trade Nootbaar, I think there's an opportunity for that. There will be an obvious open slot. Runner leads off first. Now here's Blaze Jordan, who's 0 for 1, lefty-righty matchup. From the stretch is Drohan. Here's the first pitch. He goes down there at second. Here's the throw there from Contreras, and he is punched out. Trying to steal second is Nate Church. There will be no review. The pitch is a strike, and that is the first out of the inning. So Nate Church gets caught stealing. A very good throw down to second by William Contreras. It was a good jump there by Church, but the fact of the matter is Drohan gave him an excellent pitch. Now hit to the left side, fielded there on a hop to Pratt at short. He throws to first in time to get Blaze Jordan going down the line for the second out of the inning. So a couple of quick outs here now. DJ Nick Fly. Good evening, Paul. Glad you're back. I'm glad to be back too, DJ Nick Fly. Believe me. That was not a fun experience. Now here's Pedro Pages, 1 for 1, lefty-righty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the first pitch from Drohan. A curveball goes off the bat of Pages without him even moving it. He basically checks it foul. The count is 0-1. But ultimately, Trevor Bauer he's just a difficult case for a lot of teams, and they just don't want to deal with it. I think is really what we're dealing with. From the wand is Drohan, the 0-1 to Pages. A slider bounces well out in front of home plate, and the count is 1-1. He makes really interesting material on YouTube. I would definitely recommend that to anybody. A lot of insights towards pitching. From the wand, the 1-1. Strike, change up on the outer third above the knees to Pedro Pages, and the count is 1-2. That was the 67th pitch for Drohan this evening here in 3 2/3 innings of work. Here's the pitch. Hit to the left side, fielded there by Pratt on the ground. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits. No runs, 1 hit. No walks, nobody left on. After 4 full innings of play, it is 2-0 Cardinals here in game 1 of 5 in this whopping 5-game midweek series. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Bite. Yeah, so you can learn a lot about pitching watching him on YouTube, but, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. He's basically, I don't know. I think it's fair to say to some extent, right, that he's been blackballed from baseball in some ways. There's no official ban or anything like that. Just teams are like, I'll take my chances elsewhere. It's just what it is, unfortunately. But, hey, you know what? Here we are. Unfortunately for him, I would say, I think he's made a lot of enemies along the way. Just because he has a big mouth and he can be a bit of a jerk. A very good player. But, I mean, you remember what happened in Kansas City when he was, with Cleveland under Tito Francona. Apparently, Tito, when he got back into the clubhouse afterwards, shoved him up against the wall and said, what the blank were you doing? Made him apologize in front of the entire team. Probably a good thing. Charlie Lee, my understanding is the Cardinals are only looking for very young talent that they can control for a few years and fits into the rebuild. Never say never, but the Cardinals seem to be holding steady. Yeah, it's interesting because he has said on several occasions that he would play for the major league minimum and give up control of his social media. I just don't think they want to deal with it. The Cardinals are really big into good PR, and they're an organization that has very few dark marks on their record. Not every team over many years is going to have some people that aren't great. And apparently the tarps off contingent in the right center field bleachers are all wearing Siemens caps. Don't ask me why. I guess maybe it's a giveaway tonight. It would look that way. Now, here's a lefty Mitchell, the center fielder, righty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch from May. A four-seam fastball upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Mitchell's 1 for 1 tonight. Next pitch is going to be Dustin May's 60th of the night. He comes wide. The 1-0 pitch. A curveball just off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 2-0. May looks in. He comes wide. The Dutchman deals. Called strike. Cutter on the outside corner below the belt, and the count is 2-1. Funny thing is, had Garrett Mitchell actually challenged that, he probably would have won. It was a generous strike, but he's not sticking that last challenge out there. The Dutchman winds. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup down and in. Mitchell swings over the top of that one, and the count comes even at 2-2. Back into the box is Garrett Mitchell. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. 2-0 Cardinals here in game 1 of 5. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. Down goes Mitchell for the first out of the inning. So, Garrett Mitchell gets the backwards K, Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the first out. And here comes Sal Frelick. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming wide is May. The first pitch to Sal Frelick. Fouled back on the sweeper in. The count is 0-1. Next pitch will be May's 65th of the evening. Yeah, that whistle is as much fun to hit play on as it is to hear. I love it. Coming winds May. The 0-1 pitch. Foul tipped on the changeup down and in. Sal Frelick fouled that off his foot, it would appear, and the count is 0-2. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, hitting .241, 3 home runs, 31 RBIs, a .639 OPS this year. He's out in right field tonight. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. 2-0 Cardinals. Got both of theirs in the bottom of the 3rd. May comes wide. The 0-2 pitch. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper down and in. The count is 0-2. Will I call the MLB draft? No, Q-Man, I will not call the MLB draft. I appreciate the question. Justin Brule is getting up and ready in the Cardinal bullpen. Now, you have to imagine May is on a tighter leash here because he did throw a fair amount of pitches last Thursday. He comes wide. He deals. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. However, I will be calling the All-Star game. And it doesn't look like I'll be doing it alone. I'll elaborate more on that in a moment. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. 2-0 Cardinals. It's a 1-2 count. The 1-2 to Frelick. Hit down the left field line and into the stands on the cutter away. The count is 1-2. I'm in talks right now with friend of the channel, Jolly Good Takes, a.k.a. Liam, one of Great Britain's foremost baseball fans, in his case, the San Francisco Giants. Looks like we'll be calling that one together. But I won't be doing the home run derby. Coming wide is May. The 1-2 pitch. Hit down the third base side and out of play on the sweeper away. Just slapping at that thing was Frelick. The count remains 1-2. Yes, indeed, David. I love it. Back into the box is Sal Frelick. Back on the bump is May. He comes wide. And here's the 1-2. A 4-seam fastball just off the inside corner to Frelick, and the count comes even at 2-2. Yeah, there's no AI here at all. I mean, all you're looking at there is the browser source from Game Day. That's the extent of it. This is very human. Coming wide. He deals. Swinging strike 3. Down Frelick goes hacking for the second out of the inning. So, a couple of outs here by way of strikeout out of the right hand of Dustin May. He's thrown 71 pitches so far. Now here comes the shortstop, Pratt. 0 for 1 on the night. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Cardinals. Come and wind is May. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the sinker, down and in. Clock 98 miles an hour out of the right hand of May, and the count is 0-1. May's back onto the bump. He winds, he deals, swinging strike on the sinker in, and the count is 0-2. That sinker from Dustin May to Pratt there was clocked at 99 miles an hour. Oh yeah, and a lot of horizontal action on it at that. Swinging over the top of it was Pratt. It's an 0-2 count. Looking in is May. He comes wide. He deals. Hit to the right side. Going and leaping in over the leaping grab there of Weatherall at second and into right field. So Pratt has himself a 2-out single to right here in the top of the 5th inning for the Brewers. And here comes the third baseman tonight, David Hamilton. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Cardinals. Next pitch will be Dustin May's 75th. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup against the lefty Hamilton. Runner leads off first. From the stretch is May. The first pitch to Hamilton. A cutter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. John George. Hi, Paul, JB, and Cardinals fans. We would like a win tonight. That'd be nice. Now, Fermin is way in on the grass at third. Here's the 1-0. Check swing on the curveball in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is 2-0. David Hamilton 0 for 1 with a strikeout, hitting .233 with 3 home runs, 13 RBIs in 73 games this year, hitting a .633 OPS. Pratt leads off first. From the stretch is May, the 2-0. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. Yeah, it is unfortunate, Sam, but, if he can get past this here, 5 shutout innings, so long as he's able to achieve that, would not be a small thing. No doubt. From the stretch is May. He's in the hole, 3-2 to David Hamilton. The 3-0 pitch. Strike, cutter on the outer third below the belt, and the count is 3-1. Oh, Justin Beasley's always doing Justin Beasley things. You know that by now, Q-Man. From the stretch, setting at the belt is May. The 3-1 offering. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the inside corner, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 9-hitter, David Hamilton, down at the hot corner tonight. He steps back into the box. Pratt leads off first with 2 out. Top of the 5th inning. 2-0 Cardinals. Both of theirs came in the bottom of the 3rd. May comes set at the belt. He holds. He deals. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the cutter in. The count remains 3-2. Paul, seems like Blue is at every Cardinals game. Never misses one. Never misses one. Back onto the bump is May. Leading off first is Pratt. It's a 3-2 count to David Hamilton. Righty-lefty matchup. Setting at the belt is May. He's at the stretch. He deals. Hit to the right side and into right field. Past the dive and grab of Weatherall at second. And he has himself a 2-out single, and now runners on first and third with 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And back to the top of the lineup with the very dangerous lefty Christian Yelich. And here comes Ollie Marmol. He's going to go to the pen, so it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. Presumably he's going to be bringing Brule into the game. And there goes Dustin May. He's still responsible for the runners on first and third. So, I'll give you his final line once we know it. But Dustin May, being on the pitch count that we could reasonably imagine under the circumstances, So we have ourselves a pitching change. All right. No, Q-Man, they did not fail to notify you on the 4th. On the 4th, and then yesterday on the 5th. And anybody, if you saw any part of the stream on Friday afternoon, the 3rd, the internet was going in and out, in and out, in and out. And it was like that all weekend. And when that happens, it's more than just, getting a spinning circle in the middle of your screen. It undermines everything. The feed for the game begins to lag. The score bug does not activate properly on command. The quality of the audio begins dropping out. It really gets to the point where it happens so frequently and the outcome of it is so poor that you don't really want to put that out there. It would seem that we've moved past that now. From what I understand, there are other people here in the St. Louis area that have told me they've been dealing with similar issues. But as far as I know, and fingers very tightly crossed that we don't experience that again here tonight. Yeah, I know, Q-Man. But I'm here, and he got me for both games of the doubleheader tomorrow. All right, looks like we're back here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 out, runners on first and third. After a pair of singles with 2 out from Pratt and Hamilton, the lefty Brule will face the lefty Yelich. Coming set. Throwing over to first. Back in time is Hamilton. Less than a 0 lead, but still something of a head first slide. Justin Brule in 40 innings has a 3.60 ERA and a whip of 1.40. That's over 38 games. He comes set above the belt. The first pitch to Yelich. A sinker is just a little low on the outside corner. The count is 1-0. So Blaze Jordan is holding Hamilton over there at first. Infield slightly shaded to the right side. The 1-0 to Yelich. Hit to the right side. Fielded there on the ground by Wetherell. He throws to first in time. And that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, no walks, 2 left on. After 4.5 innings of play, it is 2-0 Cardinals here in first of 5. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It really does help this channel continue to grow and get out to more Cardinal fan and baseball fans. Cardinal fans need all the help they can get this year following the Cardinals, and that definitely helps, and Lord knows I appreciate it when you do it. And if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. We have a lot of fun here. We'd love to have you aboard. With that said, 2-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 5th is going to be 1, 2, 3 in the order. Weatherholt, Herrera, and Jordan Walker. Okay. First game in the AM. No, so the first game tomorrow is going to be at 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I'll have the stream up here on Game Mike at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. And the second game is scheduled for 6:45 p.m. Central Time. And the same thing tonight. I'll start it between 6:30 and 6:35. So, speaking of which, let me do a little bit of corrective action here. Stand by. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight and spending part of your Monday night with me here on Game Mike. Lord knows I missed all of you a great deal. You know, anytime a game is going on and I'm not calling it, I really do feel like I'm missing the party. You know, that's the best way I can describe it to you. And I'm not looking up because I'm just correcting something here. And that's not a good feeling. Especially, like, the biggest party of the year, as far as America is concerned, with 250 now. Here's the first pitch to Weatherall. Hit on out there to left center field. Underneath it is Mitchell. He makes the catch in front of the warning track in left center field for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out there for Shane Drohan. Okay. Done. Cool. Saved. Cool. All set. Now here's Ivan Herrera. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of foul outs. Here's the first pitch. Hit down the left field side and going. Foul on the cutter in. The count is 0-1. So, Herrera flies out to left center for the first out. Put out 8 in your scorecard. Lefty-righty matchup. Drohan winds. The pitch to Herrera. A changeup well out and away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 1-1. Dustin May's final line, 4 2/3, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Not bad. Coming winds, Drohan, the 1-1. Hit on out there to right field, moving on over is Frelick. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. A fly out to left center for J.J. Witherell and a fly out to right by Ivan Herrera are our first 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody on. 72 pitches so far for Drohan. Now here comes Jordan Walker. First 2 plate appearances has walked tonight. He has nobody on with 2 outs. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch from Drohan. Strike, 4-seam fastball down Broadway, clocked 95 miles an hour, and the count is 0-1. Coming wide, the 0-1 pitch. Hit on to the right side, fielded there by Terang, just to the right of second, throws to first in time for the final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 5 full innings of play, it is 2-0 Cardinals here in Game 1 of 5 in this midweek series. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Do you now, Happy Hodag? It's good to have many friends. It's good to have many friends. Anyway, so when last we left the Brewers, due up is Jackson Chourio, followed by Bryce Terang, and then William Contreras. So that's 2, 3, 4 in the Brewers order due up. No indication that there's been a pitching change as yet going to the top of the 6th inning. Oh, boy. So what a fine Monday evening, and boy, what a huge series. More so for the Cardinals than the Brewers, but 5 games, split doubleheader tomorrow. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? And boy, is it absolutely sweltering out there. Not necessarily as bad as it has been, but the air is so still in St. Louis right now. All right, we are back here for the top of the 6th inning. Looks like Brule is still on. He'll face Chourio, Terang, and Contreras. 2-0 Cardinals, top of the 6th inning. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup with Jackson Chourio at the plate. He shows bunt, pulls back, and the sweeper on the outside corner is ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Jackson Chourio is 0 for 2 tonight. Nobody on, nobody out, top of the 6th inning. May goes 4 2/3, shutout ball. Lefty-righty matchup, the 1-0 from Brule. Strike, sinker, outer third at the knees, and the count is 1-1. You calling the first, and wife calling the second. That's an interesting thought. Now here's the 1-1. A changeup just off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 2-1. No, we are in the throes of moving house at the moment. Elsewhere in St. Louis. Now here's the 2-1. A sweeper just low on the outside corner, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike to Jackson Chourio. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Cardinals. Justin Brule in relief for Dustin May. He comes set above the belt. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 on the sinker, well inside. So Jackson Trio works a leadoff walk here for the Brewers in the top of the 6th inning. They have a runner on first with nobody out. And the heart of their order coming up. Now here comes the lefty, Bryce Terang. Terang is 0 for 2 tonight. You're going to get that in Game 1. Mizorowski is pitching in Game 1 tomorrow. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first. The first pitch from Brule. A sweeper well out of the way and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Now, Mizorowski, he's actually, interestingly enough, he's from the Kansas City area. And he's actually a really cool dude. With his explosive stuff, you want to hate him, but you can't. Here's the 1-0 to Terang. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and no strike. Now, leadoff walk, Sam, is definitely one of the mortal sins of pitching. It's a 2-0 count. He comes set. He deals. Strike, sinker, down and in, and the count is 2-1. Because those leadoff walks, they have a tendency to come back around. No doubt. Brule comes set above the belt. The 2-1 pitch. Strike, sweeper, outer, third above the knees, and the count is 2-2. Hey, John Wilms, good to see you. Coming sets, Brule. He deals. There's a fly ball out there to center field. Going over a couple steps to his right is Nate Church. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Jackson Trio staying right there at first. So, Bryce Terang flies out to left center. A put out 8 in your scorecard. Now, here is the cleanup hitter, the righty hitting catcher, William Contreras. A 2026 All-Star and well-deserved. So Jackson Trio leads off first with 1 out. Lefty-righty matchup with Contreras. He's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch. A sinker well in and off the plate. The count is 1-0. He steps off the rubber a moment, pops the rosin bag, trying to get a slightly better grip on the ball, I imagine. Lefty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first. Infield very much towards the left side. Here's the pitch. A changeup well out and away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. It's a 2-0 count. Coming set is Brule, the 2-0. Foul tipped on the sinker, and the count is 2-1. Fouled it off his foot, did William Contreras. Contreras hitting .293 on the year. He's having a really good year for Milwaukee. Infield defense very much shaded towards the left side with the righty Contreras. The outfield defense shaded more towards right. Runner leads off first with 1 out. It's a 2-1 count. Here's a 2-1 pitch. A sweeper down and in and well out of the zone. A very good pick there by Pies to make sure he doesn't go all the way to the backstop. And the count is 3-1. Coming set is Brule, the 3-1. Hit to the left side, field there on a hop by Fermin. He throws to second, one, on to first. And it gets away from Blaze Jordan. So, Contreras will reach. However, the lead runner by way of Jackson Trio at second is forced out. And that's the second out of the inning. Actually, a very good pick there on a couple of low hops by Fermin. A good throw to second. The throw from Weatherholt was not very good. It was offline. It was in the dirt. And in that case, even I think Alec Burleson would have had trouble hauling that one in. But standing on first is William Contreras. Now here is Jake Bowers, lefty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A sweeper inside and off the plate ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. So runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Cardinals. Bowers is 1 for 2 tonight. Coming set is Brule, the 1-0. Hit to the right side, picked up there on the ground by Blaze Jordan. Steps on the bag himself for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs for the Brewers in the top of the sixth inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-0 Cardinals here in game 1 of 5. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mic this evening and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It's really helping this channel continue to grow, get out to more Cardinal fans and baseball fans, and Cardinal fans need it right now. I think we all know that. I'm calling almost every Cardinal game. These two this past weekend due to internet connection issues notwithstanding. And if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. With that said, 2-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the sixth. So due up for the Cardinals is Velasquez, Fermin, and Wynn. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Cardinal order. Presumably, Drohan will be out for his sixth frame of work. His longest start so far in the rotation, I believe, was 6 1/3. That was about a month ago. All right. Justin Beasley, welcome to the stream, everyone. Be sure to drop a like on your way in. If you'd be so kind as to subscribe, we are on the road to 1,000 currently. Sit at 962. It's been a good night. Please subscribe right now. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. I know you had a good 4th of July, Justin, and you deserve it. Harold Houseman, 31 more innings, man. It's a long one. It's a long one. Ron Lyle, 155 likes. Let's see if we can get to 200. That would be amazing. I think we've done that a couple of times before. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the sixth inning. Shane Drohan out there for his sixth frame. Velasquez, Fermin, and Wynn, 4, 5, and 6 in the order. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. In his last at-bat, Velasquez got the runner in from third. Braylon Beasley with another super chat. Thank you so much, Braylon. You guys are so generous. It's really remarkably touching, to say the least. Common Wands, Drohan, the first pitch of Velasquez. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and in, 94 miles an hour from Drohan. The count is 0-1. That was the 75th pitch tonight for Drohan. Velasquez is 0 for 2. Now here's the 0-1. Hit to the left side and into left field, into the corner for a base hit. It rolls around in the left field corner. Picking it up out there is the left fielder, and going into second, standing up with a lead-out double, is Nelson Velasquez. And the Cardinals have a runner on second with nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. That looked like a slider, maybe like a sweeper that was left up on the inner third. And he's very good at punishing mistakes in the strike zone. That's the thing he does well. So runners on second with nobody out. Now here's Jose Fermin, who's 2 for 2, lefty-righty matchup. He shows his bunt, and he puts it down the third baseline. He does it successfully. Coming in is Hamilton. He throws to first, and he gets Fermin at first. But moving over to third on the play is Velasquez. So a sacrifice bunt by Fermin between the third baseline and the mound, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So a little bit of ABC baseball there by Ollie Marmol, and Jose Fermin managed to put down that sacrifice bunt. Now here is Mason Wynn, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Infield defense right up against the grass in case they need to cut down Velasquez at the plate on a ground ball right to him. Here's the 1-0. A cutter just off the inside corner ruled a ball. Count is 2-0. That was clocked at 90 miles an hour. Hit the wrong button there. Next pitch is going to be Drohan's 80th. He has gone 5 1/3. Lefty-righty matchup. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in, and the count is 2-1. Velasquez leads off third with one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-0 Cardinals. It's a 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball off the inside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike to Mason Wynn. The doubleheader is tomorrow. So the first game is at 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I'll start the stream here at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Jacob Mizorowski's pitching the first game for Milwaukee. Here's the 3-1. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Coming home is Velasquez. He will score, and that will give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead on the RBI single to left by Mason Wynn. Scoring easily from third is Velasquez. So the ABC baseball pays off there for the Cardinals. They have themselves a 3-0 lead. Now, with Pratt playing in on the lip of the grass there on the infield, had he been playing back, he might have been able to pick that up on the line. Now here's Nate Church, lefty-lefty matchup. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. A sinker down and in ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Runner on first with one out. Nate Church 1 for 2 with a single. 257, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs in 69 games. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner on first with one out. Coming set from the stretch is Drohan. The 1-0. And he hit it on out there into shallow left field. Underneath it is Pratt. Calling off is the left fielder. He pulls it in for the second out of the inning. Going back to first is Mason Wynn. So Nate Church flies out to left to put out 7 in your scorecard for the second out. Now here is Blaze Jordan. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Lefty-righty matchup. Blaze Jordan, tonight's first baseman. Alec Burleson getting the night off. The first pitch. Head on out there to center field. Going back is Garrett Mitchell in front of the track. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Cardinals, they push one more across on the RBI single by Mason Wynn. And the Cardinals now have a 3-0 lead going to the top of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay, 3-0 Cardinals. Neftali Acosta. It's always good to see you. That's such a fun name to say. From Miami Beach, Florida. Yellow, my brother. Yellow right back at you, my friend. All right. So, let's take a look here. Due up for the Brewers in the top of the 7th inning is going to be Garrett Mitchell, Sal Frelick, and then Pratt. Cooper Pratt, the 21-year-old, he's he's doing his first tour up in the big leagues right now. That is 6, 7, and 8 in the Brewer order. So far, Justin Brule, in relief of Dustin May, has thrown 1 1/3 inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. That's the story there. We will see if Marmol goes to the pen. That still remains to be seen at the moment. Anyway. Bet on Belgium. Probably the safer of the bet, that's for sure. I mean, this is the one thing Belgium can beat the United States at. All right. Now, coming up to the plate is Garrett Mitchell, the center fielder. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. Looks like Brule's back out there. Lefty-lefty matchup. There's the first pitch. Strike, sinker, inner third above the knees. The count is 0-1. Lars Nootbaar is replacing Nelson Velasquez out there in left. With a change of pitcher, it makes sense. Gets kind of a half day off. Coming set is Brule, the 0-1. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. 3-0 Cardinals here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 in the bottom of the third, 1 in the bottom of the sixth. That's the extent of the score. And Cummins sets Brule the 1-0. Strike, sweeper on the inside corner above the knees, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a fairly generous call there for Brule, but Garrett Mitchell doesn't challenge it. Here's the 1-2. Hit on out to the left side, fielded there by Brule. He throws to first, not in time. He had to go well out to his right side, and Garrett Mitchell was flying down the first baseline, so he has himself an infield leadoff single, and the Brewers have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. It was almost the equivalent of a swinging bunt, but I got to say, that was a much more athletic play than I thought Justin Brule was capable of, even without being able to make the play. He didn't have a chance at Garrett Mitchell at first. Now, Ollie Marmol looks like he's going to be going to the pen. He's talking to Justin Brule here. In fact, it has nothing to do with the potential pitching change. He's just making sure he's okay after that acrobatic fielding on his part. He basically had to come across his body, go out and get the ball in a couple of hops, throw across his body to first. He didn't have a shot, but they want to make sure he's in one piece. And so they are going to the pen here. Now, I don't know if this is going to count as a injury pitching change, but Fernandez, the right-hander, has been warming up. So I get the feeling this was probably in the works anyway. So here comes Fernandez. Let me give you his numbers here in a moment. So there's a pitching change. Hey, CH Man 712. Hey, Paul D, stopping by to drop a like and let's go Cards. Cheers to you, CH Man, and cheers to the Dodgers. And let us all drink to the incredible work and life of the late Vin Scully. I think everybody here can get behind that. Cheers to that. I was listening to a call of his earlier today from a game that I went to at Dodger Stadium back on October 3rd, 2009. Just reminded me how much I miss that man. How good he was. So Ryan Fernandez, the 28-year-old right-hander, in 10 games so far in 2026, has a 1-1 record, an ERA of 1.35 in 13 1/3 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts in that time, and a whip of 1.20. He will face Sal Frelick. Pratt is on deck. In the hole is David Hamilton. So 7, 8, 9 in the order. Here's a runner on first with nobody out. All right. Yeah. Who started for St. Louis tonight? Oh, Dustin May did. He went 4 2/3 a shutout ball. He was on a tight pitch count. They pulled him after about 75 pitches. All right, looks like we're almost back here for the top of the 7th inning. Now here's the righty. Fernandez gave you his moments just a moment ago. His numbers just a moment ago. He will face the right fielder, Sal Frelick. There's a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. 3-0 Cardinals. Garrett Mitchell leads off first. Lefty Frelick is into the box. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first. Here's the first pitch from Fernandez. Chop foul behind the plate on the slider away, and the count is 0-1. Glad he didn't have to go on the IL. That comebacker was scary his last start. Yeah, that did not look pretty. Coming set at the Birds is Fernandez. He deals. A four-seam fastball upstairs. Laying off it is Frelick. The count is 1-1. Fernandez comes set at the Birds. The 1-1 pitch. A changeup upstairs and away, and the count is 2-1. So a runner on first with nobody out. Sal Frelick hitting .267 with a home run, 29 RBIs this season with runners on. The 2-1 pitch. Hit on out there in the right field and into the corner and in for a ground rule double. It bounces over the wall just to the left of the 335 sign. Stopping at third is Garrett Mitchell, and now the Brewers have runners on second and third and nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Something of an unlucky bounce there. Had it not gone over, Garrett Mitchell would have scored easily on the play. Sal Frelick got some good wood on that thing. Jordan Walker had no chance at that. No right fielder would have. So runners on second and third with nobody out, top of the 7th inning. Now here's the righty Pratt, who's 1 for 2. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. A slider away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Cooper Pratt is 1 for 2 with a single. 21-year-old shortstop. Coming sets Fernandez. He sets at the Birds, the 1-0. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third above the knees, and the count is 1-1. Fernandez, he comes set. He deals. Hit down the right field line and slicing foul into the stands, and the count is 1-2. So Orion Fernandez comes in, gives up a double to Sal Frelick with a runner on first, and now runners are on second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. It is 3-0 Cardinals here in game 1 of 5. It's a 1-2 count and a righty-righty matchup. Stepping back into the box is Pratt. Looking in is Fernandez. He comes set at the Birds. He deals. A slider down and away, blocked very well there by Pajes, and the count is 2-2 strikes. Alrighty. Can we get 50 states in the chat? That's an interesting question, John. That would be fascinating. Oh, there's Chaim Bloom on the cam. The 2-2. Hit on out there in front of the home plate. Picked up there by Fernandez, but he can't get a handle on it. So everybody is safe, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. That was a swinging bunt there by Pratt. Had Fernandez actually gotten the ball into his hand, he probably would have gotten him at first. But it was just a perfect swinging strike. He couldn't get the ball in his glove, then could not make a transfer because there was no ball to transfer, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. And now here is the 9-hitter, the third baseman tonight, David Hamilton. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the 7th, 3-0. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, down and in, swinging over the top of that one. Correction, that was not Pratt with the swinging strike. No, it was Pratt with the swinging strike. Absolutely. What am I saying? Infielders are in on the grass at the lip at the corners. David Hamilton, he's an 0-1 count, 2 for 9 so far this year with the runners, with the bases loaded. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 hit down the third base side and out of play, and the count is 0-2. Okay. Minnesota. It's an 0-2 count. Nobody out with the bases loaded. The 0-2 to Hamilton. A slider down and in, blocked very well by Pajes. It was a ball in the dirt. The count is 1-2. So nowhere to put him for Fernandez. He comes set at the Birds. He deals. A slider down and in, once again blocked very well by Pajes, and the count comes even at 2-2. So the pond is full of ducks for the Brewers, with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning, 3-0 Cardinals. On deck is Christian Yelich. Coming set is Fernandez, the 2-2. A changeup up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. Takes a grip of the rosin bag. Nowhere to put him. Coming set is Fernandez. The 3-2 pitch. Hit foul down the third base side. Now to play on the slider away. The count remains 3-2. AK and the DP. Well, I hope that would be nice, but let's see what happens. Once again, on deck is Christian Yelich, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Coming sets Fernandez, a 3-2 pitch. Hit to the right side and goes foul. Picked up there by Blaze Jordan. Just short of first base. And the count remained 3-2 strikes. Now, no doubt the Cardinals would be happy to give up the run for the double play ball. Getting hot down there in the pen is the righty Ryan Stanek. Came off the paternity list last week. Brand new father. Coming set is Fernandez, the 3-2. Hit on out there into right center field, and it falls in for a base. It goes all the way to the wall. At least 2 runs will score, and that will make it a 3-2 game here. And there are now runners on second and third with nobody out, and it's a whole new ball game for Wisconsin. Milwaukee. He nearly cleared the bases with that double to right center field. Fernandez has come in and messed the bed, and here comes Ollie Marmol, and he's going to the pen. He's going to the righty, Ryan Stanek. Oh, boy. That was definitely not Fernandez's night. I mean, goodness, they had his number from the very start. All righty. So Ryan Stanek is coming in to face Christian Yelich. I got to say, it's definitely not the guy I want to be facing with runners on second and third with nobody out. It's just such a professional hitter. He was injured earlier this year, but he's been back. We shall see, Harold. We shall see. But we await a pitching change. So, I hope everybody's having a wonderful night. Tight game. Very tight game. 176 likes, 382 people watching. Let's hit 200 likes tonight, everybody. We can do it. I hope so. Hey, Brian, good to see you. How'd you enjoy your holiday weekend? All right. So we await the finish of the pitching change. The most powerful blonde mullet in baseball is being asked to come in here and do some pretty big things. But you want to know what? That's part of the crucible, folks. That's part of the crucible. You want to hang with the big boys? You want to matter at the trade deadline? You execute here. Simple as that. This is a war. Yes, I believe Ty Cobb, as lamentable as he was in certain ways, once described baseball as something like a war. That's certainly how he played the game. One of the most intense players to ever put on the uniform. It's by being diplomatic. Ryan Stanek in 33 2/3 innings has a 4.81 ERA and a whip of 1.46 in 37 games. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup with Christian Yelich, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Here's the first pitch. Strike, slider on the inside quarter above the knees, and the count is 0-1. Christian Yelich is at leadoff tonight, and he's the DH. It was a great weekend, my friend. Oh, good. Coming set, the 0-1. A four-seam fastball down and in. The count is 1-1. It was a great weekend, my friend. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hey, America's 250. I'm all for it. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. Coming set, Stanek. The 1-1 to Yelich. A splitter down and in, called a ball, and the count is 2-1. Brewers have a total of 2 runs. Coming set is Stanek, the 2-1. A slider down and in, laying off that one is Yelich, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Christian Yelich has a strikeout swing and a pair of groundouts tonight. That's his 0 for 3. Infield definitely at least even with the bag in case they need to cut down the runner at home on a ground ball. The 3-1. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball down and in. And now the Brewers have the bases loaded and nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. And here comes already Jackson Chourio, the left fielder tonight. Jackson Chourio 0 for 2 with a walk. Another very professional hitter. There is no let-up in this Brewer lineup. Not really. Come and set Stanek, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. So bases loaded, nobody out, top of the 7th inning. 2 already in for the Brewers. It's a 3-2 Cardinal lead. Come and set is Stanek at the Birds. The 0-1 to Chourio. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Clocked 88 miles an hour at the right hand of Stanek. They are playing at a modified double play depth, but still rather in on all accounts. Come and set Stanek, the 1-1. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker up and in, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right. They are very persistent indeed. Come and set Stanek, the 1-2. Hit to the left side, fielded there by Fermin. He throws home, there gets the runner 1. And so he cut him down at home plate with the force for the first out. The bases remain loaded. He picked it up on a hop off the bat of Jackson Chourio through right home. A very good throw, gets the runner coming home from third. And that's the first out of the inning. He manages to pick it up going to his left side, picks it up, turns around, throws home. A good throw to Pages there for the first out. Now here's Bryce Terang, the left-hander, righty-lefty matchup. Bases loaded with 1 out, 2 already in, 3-2 Cardinals. The first pitch. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Coming home is the runner. Here's the throw. It is cut off, and that will give the Brewers a 4-3 lead on the RBI single to left, and they have runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Oh boy. No let up in this lineup. And it looked like it was a splitter that hung up like around the belt out over the plate. You know, Bryce Terang knew exactly what to do with that. 2 runners scored easily on the play. So there are runners on first and second with 1 out. 4 in so far for Milwaukee. They now have their first lead of the night. It's 4-3. Now here is the cleanup hitter, William Contreras. He's 0 for 3. The first pitch. Hit to the left side. Fielded by Fermin. He throws the second one. On to first. A double play to end the inning. So that is a 5-6-3 double play. And that will do it. However, the Brewers, they push 4 across. They have a 4-3 lead. It is 7th inning stretch time going to the bottom of the 7th inning down at Busch Stadium. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It really is helping this channel continue to grow, and I think that's a fine thing for Cardinal fans overall. I'm calling almost every Cardinals game. Sans the 2 this weekend due to internet issues. And if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. It'd be great to have you. With that said, it is 4-3 Milwaukee going to the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Could have been much worse. Yeah, it could have been Thurman. They got a good DP there, but you know, now they're in the hole. Now they got to go up against a very capable Brewer bullpen. We'll see what happens. All right. Is Jordan coming to bat? No. He ended the bottom of the 6th. So up to bat, due up is Pages, followed by Weatherall and Herrera. So 9, 1, and 2 in the order for St. Louis. All right. Alrighty. Now let's see if Drohan's coming out. Let's see where he is at the moment. Okay. All right, they are going to the righty, Patrick. Give you his numbers here in a moment. In 26 games, he's 5-4 this year with a 3.54 ERA and 68 2/3 innings pitched. He's been used quite a lot. 57 strikeouts, a whip of 1.24. He will face 9-1-2 in the Cardinal order. Pedro Pages is 1 for 2 with a run scored. All right. Here comes the righty, Pedro Pages. He's getting ready to step into the box. 4-3 Milwaukee here in game 1 of 5. Big top of the 7th inning, pushing 4 across. They have their first lead of the night. Into the box is Pages. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Coming set is Patrick, the first pitch. A cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I'm glad you're enjoying the call. Wabo Sabi, here's the pitch. And he pops it out there into short right field. Underneath it is Terang calling everybody off. He makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. So Chad Patrick gets a quick out here. And now here comes J.J. Weatherall. 0 for 3. He has a run scored and a strikeout. Coming set is Patrick. The first pitch to Weatherall. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. A strikeout looking, a fielder's choice, and a foul out tonight for J.J. Weatherall. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the outside quarter. The count is 1-1. Back onto the bump is Chad Patrick. Back into the box is Weatherall. It's a 1-1 count. Patrick sets below the letters, the 1-1. A four-seam fastball down and in and off the plate ruled a ball, and the count is 2-1. He's back onto the bump. Coming set below the letters. He deals. And there's a fly ball out to shallow left field. Underneath it, calling for it is Pratt. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So J.J. Weatherall flies out. I'll put out 6 in your scorecard. Now here is Ivan Herrera. He is 0 for 3 tonight. First 2 at-bats fouled out each time. So nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-3 Milwaukee. Couple of quick outs here for Chad Patrick. Righty-righty matchup. He comes set below the letters. The first pitch to Herrera. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. That was 97 miles an hour out of the right hand of Chad Patrick. 7th pitch so far in the outing. He comes set at the stretch. He deals. A cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. He's back onto the bump. Back into the box is Herrera with his big, wide-open stance. The 2-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. So a tight one here late. A big inning in the top of the 7th for Milwaukee. All 4 of their runs came in that inning. The 3-0 pitch. Strike taken all the way on the cutter on the inner third above the knees, and the count is 3-1 to Ivan Herrera. Changing up the ball there quickly. Herrera is back into the box. Chad Patrick is back onto the rubber. He comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the cutter outside and just below the belt, and the count is 3-2. Hacked right underneath that one did Ivan Herrera. Almost swinging out of his shoes. Coming set is Chad Patrick. The 3-2 offering. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and in for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. The Cardinals, they go down in order. We go to the top of the eighth inning. It is 4-3 Brewers here in Game 1 of 5. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 11 likes away from 200. How about that? Boy, oh boy. All right, due up for the Brewers in the top of the eighth inning. 5, 6, and 7. Then their orders is Bowers, Mitchell, and Frelick. We will see what Marmol does in terms of the pitching situation for the top of the eighth inning. An open question, admittedly, at this point. The David Eckstein bobblehead night. Saturday, July 11th. All righty. So we await the top of the eighth inning. Thank you all so much for joining me here on this Monday night, the first game of this 5-game series. Been a tight one. But I think it's fair to say the Brewers are who we thought they were. Alrighty, Sam Foreman. Chaim Bloom needs to fire Ollie after this season. He has blown so many games this year when we should have won. See what happens. See what happens. Alrighty. We are nearly back for the top of the eighth inning. They're giving us some highlights of Dustin May's 4 2/3, which admittedly was very good. And he does seem to pitch well at home. All the Cardinals, more generally in terms of the rotation, seems to. Alrighty. Alright, this looks like... Who is this? Gordon Graceffo, the right-hander. A slider up and away and out of the zone to Jake Bowers. The count is 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Gordon Graceffo in 35 games, 40 and a third innings, pitch a 3.35 ERA, a whip of 1.12. It's a 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch. Head on out there into center field, giving chase in the gap is Nate Church. He catches it on the run for the first out of the inning. So a nifty play there in left center by Nate Church to pick that first out up. And now here comes the center fielder, Garrett Mitchell. 2 for 3 tonight with a run scored and a strikeout. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with one out, top of the eighth inning, 4-3 Milwaukee. He comes set at the Birds. Graceffo deals. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third below the belt, and the count is 0-1. Graceffo comes set at the Birds. The 0-1 pitch. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. There we are. Coming set is Graceffo. He deals. Swinging strike on the changeup away, and the count is 1-2. That was a very good circle change from the righty Graceffo there. Had good arm side action. Mitchell swung right over the top of it. The count is 1-2. And he comes set. He deals. A slider down and in. Laying off that is Garrett Mitchell. The count comes even at 2-2. So nobody on with one out here in the top of the eighth inning. 4-3 Brewers. All 4 of their runs coming in the top of the 7th inning. CRUCIBLE comes set. The 2-2 offering. A changeup down in the dirt, laying off that one is Mitchell, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coming set at the Birds is CRUCIBLE. The 3-2 to Mitchell. Called strike 3. Challenged immediately there by Garrett Mitchell, and he has a very good case. So we're having an ABS challenge incoming here. We're going to await the result of it. And it's indeed ball 4. So the called strike 3 is overturned. Garrett Mitchell works a 1-out walk. And the Brewers have a runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Now here comes the right fielder, Sal Frelick. Last at bat, a ground rule double. A big part of that Brewer rally. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Sal Frelick, who's 1 for 3. Runner leads off first with 1 out, top of the 8th inning. 4-3 Milwaukee, righty-lefty matchup. Coming sets CRUCIBLE. The first pitch is Sal Frelick. A 4-seam fastball off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Back into the box is Sal Frelick. Runner leads off first. It's a 1-0 count. CRUCIBLE comes set at the Birds. Here's the 1-0. Head on out there to center field. Going over a couple of steps to his right is Nate Church. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Garrett Mitchell retreating back towards first. So Sal Frelick flies out to center for the 2nd out. Put out 8 in your scorecard. And now here comes the rookie shortstop, Pratt. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Pratt's 1 for 3 tonight. Runner on first with 2 out, top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Hit on out there to center field. Going back is Nate Church in front of the track in center field. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 4-3 Brewers going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Okay. So that's the story there. Gordon CRUCIBLE largely does his job. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom half of the 8th is Jordan Walker, followed by Lars Nootbaar and Jose Fermin. So 3, 4, and 5 in the Cardinal order. Alrighty. But this has been a very tight game here so far. Very close. Extra innings, well, the Cardinals are going to have to do a bit to get us there if that's the case. I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. But I will say the Brewer bullpen has generally been very good this year. They're, 55-33 coming into tonight? Is that what it was? Yeah, 55-33. Yeah. They've been quite relentless. But, you know what? It ain't over till it's over. And there's still baseball left to be played. Yeah, small ball would help. Though with Jordan Walker, I don't think that's necessarily initially in the cards. You know, he's your main offensive piece here. Let's see what the Brewers do here in the bottom of the 8th pitching-wise. I think Chad Patrick might come out for a 2nd inning, but let's see. All right. We are just about back for the bottom of the 8th inning. All right. First pitch to Walker. A sinker ruled low, challenged immediately by William Contreras, so another ABS challenge incoming, this part on the Brewers. It's ruled a ball. Let's see what it is. And the call is upheld, so the Brewers lose their last remaining ABS challenge. It missed low by 1.9 inches. It's a 1-0 count. So the call is upheld. Righty-righty matchup. Walker's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the cutter away, and the count is 1-1. Chad Patrick out for his second frame. Next pitch will be his 15th since entering the game. He comes set at the stretch. The 1-1. Sinker strike. Whispers over the black of the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-2. So 4-3 Milwaukee. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker, which is quickly becoming a meme. And the count is 1-2. Coming set is Patrick. The 1-2. A slurve called strike 3. Down looking goes Jordan Walker on the inside corner, and that's the first out of the inning. Little surprised Jordan Walker didn't challenge that one. I'm curious to see on replay. Yeah, he was wise not to. Yep, strikes out looking for the first out. Now, here's Lars Nootbaar. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. This is his first at-bat. He got subbed defensively for Velasquez a couple of innings ago out in left field. Lars is 273 on the air. The first pitch. Hit on out there into right field. Underneath it is Sal Frelick in front of the track for the second out of the inning. Off the bat, it looked like he hit that a lot harder than he actually did. And that's the second out. 197 likes, 363 people watching. Hit that like button so we can hit 200. Thank you so much, Nick. Jose Fermin has doubled, singled. He's had quite a night. 2 for 2. Here's a pitch. Strike, cutter, right down Broadway. The count is 0-1. So there's nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-3 Brewers. Here in game 1 of 5. Split doubleheader tomorrow. Coming set is Chad Patrick. The 0-1 to Fermin. A sinker called a ball just off the outside corner. The count is 1-1. Nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Righty-righty matchup. Coming set from the stretch is Chad Patrick, the 1-1 Fermin. And there's a fly ball out there into center field. Coming in is Garrett Mitchell. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. The Cardinals, they go down in order. We go to the top of the 9th inning. It is 4-3 Brewers here in game 1 of 5. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Wow, 200 likes, everybody. Thank you, each and every one of you who liked the stream tonight. I'm glad you felt so compelled. I sure appreciate it. That's no understatement. That's not me being sarcastic. I really do. As this has been a heck of a ride. It's not something that I was expecting, but here we are, and a community has come out of it. It's been a humbling experience, to say the least, in so many different ways. So all I can say is thank you all so much for the continuing support. It has been a wonderful ride, and hopefully we can just keep on going. We'll see what happens. Well, thank you, Owabo Sabi. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Wow. Wow, 210. No kidding. Oh. Well, that's saying a lot, Chalk. Well, we'll see what happens. John Harding. Hey, Paul. I'm here as usual. Let's go Cards. Good to see you, John. So due up for the Brewers in the top of the 9th. They're going to be pinch hitting there for the third baseman, David Hamilton, with the righty Joey Ortiz, who in 2026, 186 official at-bats, is hitting .210 with 2 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases, 551 OPS. He'll be in the 9-hole. He'll be followed by Yelich and Jackson Chourio. 4-3 Brewers, top of the 9th inning. Looks like Gordon Graceffo is going to be out there for his second frame. Righty-righty matchup here against Ortiz. Now here's the pitch. Hit to the left side. Fielded there. Caught on the line by Mason Wynn at short for the first out of the inning. So a quick out there from Gordon Graceffo. Starting off the top of the ninth. Woodworking Outdoorsman. You should be at 1,000 subs by the end of this series. Well, thank you so much, Woodworking Outdoorsman. That means a lot, especially since you're rooting for the Brewers. I take that seriously. Now here's the first pitch to Yelich. A changeup down and in and clear out of the zone. Picked up on the backhand there by Pages. The count is 1-0. Yelich is 0 for 3 with both a walk and a strikeout tonight. Nobody on with one out. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming set is Graceffo. The 1-0 to Yelich. Foul tipped on the slider away. The count is 1-1. Back into the box is Christian Yelich. It's a 1-1 count. Coming set at the Birds is the righty Graceffo. He deals. Foul down the third base side. Now to play on the slider in. The count is 1-2. Quick game. Well, actually a little longer than average. Most games are going about 2.5 hours now. It's a 1-2 count. Yelich is in the box. Coming sets Graceffo. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. You know, Christian Yelich may not be putting up the numbers he did in his prime, but boy, you can't have a more professional hitter at the plate. Always dangerous with the lumber. Coming set at the Birds is Graceffo. He deals. Swinging strike three. Down, hacking goes Yelich for the second out of the inning. All righty. Now, coming up to the plate will be the right-hander Jackson Chourio, making a righty-righty matchup. He's 1 for 4 tonight with a couple of RBIs. Always a tough out. Nobody on, 2 out, top of the ninth inning. 4-3 Brewers. Coming sets Graceffo. The first pitch to Chourio. A slider down and away and in the dirt. The count is 1-0. Oh, hopefully you get to hear it once more. I always like playing it. Coming set is Graceffo. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the half swing from Chourio on the sinker in. The count is 1-1. Nick, let's go Cards. Let us hope. Let us hope. Now here's the 1-1. A slider off the plate away, and the count is 2-1 Nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the ninth. 4-3 Milwaukee. They've gotten all their runs in the top of the seventh inning. Coming set is Graceffo. Righty-righty matchup. The 2-1 pitch. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play on the slider away, and the count comes even at 2-2. Can they walk it off? Yeah, sure they could, Thurman. Absolutely. They're the home team. They have that ability. Coming set is Graceffo. The 2-2 to Chourio. Fouled on the check swing there on the four-seam fastball in off the bat of Jackson Chourio. The count remains 2-2. But yeah, they can walk it off. They're the home team. He comes set. He deals. Chop foul down the third base side. Now to play on the slider down and away, and the count is 2-2. He gets back into the box. Graceffo comes set. The 2-2. Foul down the third baseline. Now to play on the sinker in. The count remains 2-2. I feel like I've said this before. All right. All right. Back onto the bump is Graceffo. He comes set at the Birds. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Down looking goes Jackson Chourio for the third and final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. Last licks for the Cardinals. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It is a 4-3 Brewers lead in game 1 of 5 in this midweek series. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It's helping the channel continue to grow, get out to more Cardinal fans, more baseball fans, and Lord knows I appreciate it. And if you like what you see and you're not subscribed already, well, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe. Love to have you a part of the gang. We have a lot of fun here. Are you kidding? I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, so due up for the Cardinals, last licks in the bottom of the ninth. Mason Wynn, Nate Church, and Blaze Jordan, 6, 7, and 8 in the Cardinal order. Okay. No, this would not be good for someone with an anxiety disorder, Zach. Regardless of who you're rooting for. This one can definitely put strain on the heart. Oh boy, they keep replaying this same like fantasy camp thing where Ozzie Smith is providing instruction at shortstop to a bunch of little leaguers. I mean, it's cute, it's cool. I imagine it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, St. Louis Cardinals alumni events. They happen, not just on Seinfeld. There is a Yankee fantasy camp, indeed. I don't know if they still hold it, but they did for a lot of years. All right, now here is McGill, the right-hander. He's going to come in, try to nail down this save. In 36 games, 35 innings pitched, an ERA of 3.09 and a whip of 0.97, 11.31 Ks per 9. He's been very good this year for Milwaukee. He's going to try and protect this one-run lead. 6, 7, 8 due up here in the Cardinal order. Starting with the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn, who himself is 1 for 3 with an RBI single tonight. All righty. So here we go. Hold on to your butts. Into the box is Mason Wynn. He composes himself. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Coming set at the letters is McGill, the first pitch to Wynn. A knuckle curve strike right down Broadway, 89 miles an hour. The count is 0-1. McGill, he comes set. The 0-1. Swinging strike, and the knuckle curve that bounces out in front of home plate. Doing a favor for him there is Mason Wynn, and the count is 0-2. Oh, boy. Mason, what are you doing? I'm not your hitting coach, but I don't need to be. It's an 0-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Milwaukee here in game 1 of 5. Split doubleheader tomorrow. They're switching up the baseball at the behest of McGill. It's an 0-2 count. So Mason Wynn, he's in the hole. He's on defense now. Coming sets McGill, the 0-2. A knuckle curve in the dirt, and the count is 1-2. So 3 knuckle curves in a row there from McGill. Very much a field pitch. The best of all time with it was undoubtedly Mike Messina, but he's a special case. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. Clocked 99 miles an hour out of the right hand of McGill, and the count is even at 2-2. On deck is the lefty, the center fielder, Nate Church. Coming set the letter to McGill, the 2-2 to win. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Past the diving grab there of Pratt at short, and Mason Wynn is on first with a leadoff single, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And here comes Nate Church. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup, and he got that thing pretty well. Pratt out there, a good dive right there in the hole between himself and second. Coming set is McGill. The first pitch to Church. A four-seam fastball off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. So the question here is, do you put down a sacrifice bunt? Third baseman's definitely in on the grass, so they're prepared if it happens. Throwing over to first, back in time with the head-first slide is Mason Wynn, and the count remains 1-0. Ooh. That's a spicy one, Colin Donnelly. Very interesting. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing it. The 1-0 pitch. Pops straight up in the infield. Underneath it is the third baseman. He calls for it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So, Nate Church makes the first out here in the bottom of the ninth on a pop-up. And now we have a pinch hitter. Namely, for Blaze Jordan, by way of the burly first baseman for the Cardinals, Alec Burleson. So his night off comes to an end. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. This is definitely one in Ollie Marmol's chamber he had been holding back. All right. So a runner on first with one out. 4-3 Milwaukee. Infield defense very much shaded towards right with the lefty Burleson, who's getting his first at-bat of the night. Pinch hitting for the Rook Blaze Jordan, who had been at first base tonight for Alec Burleson. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming sets McGill. Wynn leads off first with one out. Bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Milwaukee. The first pitch. Strike. Four-seam fastball down Broadway. Clock 99 miles an hour out of the right hand of McGill, and the count is 0-1. He's 3 for 4 in his career against McGill. Interesting numbers. McGill comes set. Throws over to first. Back in time with the head first slide is Mason Wynn. Hey, KCM. Good to see you. I was waiting for you to come by. Coming sets McGill at the letters. The 0-1 to Burleson. Hit foul down the third baseline. Out of play on the four-seam fastball down and in. And the count is 0-2 strikes. On deck, due up is Pedro Pajes. Back into the box is Burleson. It's no 2 count. Runner leads off first with one out here in the bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Brewers. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Coming set is McGill. It's a 1-2 count to Burleson. Runner leads off first with one out. Bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the knuckle curve. Down and away for the second out of the inning. So a big strikeout from McGill here. And now presumably we have a pinch hitter for Pedro Pajes by way of the left-hander Brian Torres, which will make it a righty-lefty matchup against the righty McGill. William Contreras is having a little chat with him out on the hill. So there's still a runner on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 4-3 Milwaukee. And the powwow has been broken up. That knuckle curve is quite a weapon for him. Brian Torres steps into the box. Once again, it's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on first with 2 out. Bottom of the ninth, 4-3 Milwaukee. McGill, he comes set at the letters. The first pitch to Torres. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball, down and in, and the count is 0-1. And you could tell Brian Torres was very disappointed with himself here. By the look on his face, he saw that as his pitch to hit in the at-bat. It's hard to say if he'll get another. In 23 games, hitting .235 with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs this year is Brian Torres, a 28-year-old rookie. Signed out of the Atlantic League, independent baseball. Infield defense for the Brewers is straight away and played back. It's an 0-1 count. That was just like the four-seam fastball down and in, that classic lefty swing path. So naturally, Torres is disappointed with himself. It's an 0-1 count. He comes set at the letters. The 0-1 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down and in, and the count is 0-2. It's interesting because he lays off there, and he's disappointed on the pitch before, which was almost identical in many respects. So the Cardinals are down to their last strike. It's an 0-2 count. Cummins sets McGill. The 0-2 pitch. Foul back on the four-seam fastball down Broadway. Clock 99 miles an hour. Out of the right hand of McGill. Torres, once again, looking very disappointed in himself. He looked at that one as one to hit. He was only able to foul it back. It's an 0-2 count. Runner on first with 2 out. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the knuckle curve down and in, and that will do it. So 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. They managed to come back and win this first of this 5-game series. The final is 4-3, so no victory tune tonight. However, tomorrow is a split doubleheader. The first game is scheduled for 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I will begin here on Game Mike at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Game 2 is scheduled for 6:45 p.m. Central Time. I'll be live here at 6:35 p.m. Central Time for that. So I have both ends of the doubleheader. Jacob Mizorowski is the probable for the Brewers in Game 1. So, unfortunately for Cards fans, 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. They take this first of 5 in this 5-game weekday set. The Cardinals drop the first game in this all-important crucible for them. The Brewers improved to 56-33, and the Cardinals, they fall to 47-41 on the year. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me tonight and spending your part of your Monday night with me here for Brewers v. Cardinals. I'll be back tomorrow for both games of the split doubleheader. So that's a thing. Once again, the first game of the split doubleheader, 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I'll begin here on Game Mike with the live stream play-by-play at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Second game, 6:45 p.m. Central Time scheduled. First pitch at Busch. I will begin at 6:35 p.m. Central Time, and I hope to see you all here. So thank you all so much for joining me. 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. Thurman, thanks, Paul. You got it, Thurman. It's always a pleasure to see you. Justin Beasley, good night, chat. Great stream. Terrible result. Great call as always, Paul D. See for double the fun tomorrow. I certainly hope so, Justin. I really do. Have a good night, everyone. You too, Braylon. You be well. Nick, please, everyone, hit the like button on your way out. He is relentless, is he not, Nick? Is he not? It was a good game, Flat Smack. Good for seeing you. I'm glad you came by. Harold, good night, guys. Be well. Be well. Jock, we belong here. We'll get him tomorrow. I hope so. I really do. Steven, thanks for the great call of tonight's game. You got it. You're very welcome. Harold Hausman, okay, cool. See you tomorrow then. Good, sir. You got it, man. I'm happy to do it. Alrighty. Ron Lyle, good call. Thanks, Paul. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Ron. Be well. Cheers to the Green Mountain State. Great call, Paul. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it wasn't great, Zach, but you know what? It happens. That's baseball season, as they say. All right. Hopefully don't repeat of last year at Wrigley. Well, in any case, everybody, it has been an absolute pleasure. It was always fun calling games for you here on Game Mike. Thank you all so much. Over 200 likes. I mean, that's not a small thing at all, and I thank you all so much for that. Be well, happy hodag. Good game, Paul D. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Nick. You be well. Brandon Schutz. How am I? I'm okay. Not thrilled with the outcome, but such things happen. It is what it is. Thank you all so much. I'm Paul D. 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. Roger Baseman, Shiznit. Great call, Paul D. Help me get through my shift. See you, chat. You be well, Roger. Take care of yourself living on the surface of the sun. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mike. 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. Split doubleheader tomorrow, 1:15 p.m. Game 1 scheduled first pitch. I'll be live here on Game Mike, 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Then Game 2 is scheduled for 6:45 p.m. I'll be here at 6:35 p.m. Central Time with the call on Game Mike. Thank you all so much for watching. Bombers Game Mike over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. Thank you, and good night. 4-3 Milwaukee is your final. Be well, everybody. I'll see you for 2 tomorrow. Over and out.